Am I?
So
Nope.
then I told her I don't care how much I enjoyed it. I'm still not paying you.
Exactly. And don't ever pay with a check either, whatever you do.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Learn my lesson. Yeah. Jerry Springer taught us that
Exactly.
for sure. Yeah. Don't ever pay a prostitute with a check.
Exactly. By the
So,
way, Doink.
oh, we live.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Uh, how are you, good people? I hope things are well. I'd like to apologize for not being here last week. I really do apologize for that. Thanks. It was just busy week. Anyways, anyways, I got a bunch of what do you call it out like I normally do, and we got the
A
never
Molly
mind.
Crew.
My other girlfriend's not coming, working early in the shift. Okay, all right, sweetheart. Um, Gunpowder Beauty can't come. Well, on here anyway.
Is she working?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to text her and do everything else at the same time, guys. Um, so I got, I always got, I get them out to the regular, everybody, and we'll see who does it. I know that what's his name's gonna break my balls because he doesn't see Dish on here just yet. But Dish has been busy on Friday nights lately, so uh, I don't know about that. I don't know what her status is for tonight, but everything's sent. Johnny there, my woodsman's got one in case he's not listening or what have you. Trust me, you guys just look on your Facebook. What do you call it? You'll see it. So anyway, tonight we have Miss Lisa Shell's back with us.
Hello.
Better than she was the last time I spoke with her. Of course, Ohio Wolverine is with us, and tonight we have a guest. What is his name? His screen name is Jersey Trailer Trash. Jersey, how the hell are you tonight?
Good, Mikey. Good, Mikey. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Good to see you.
Pleasure to be seen. Thank you.
Absolutely. So right off the rip, I'd like to say congratulations, Uncle Kyle. Uncle Kyle, hello first. Hello. And congratulations. You got the new digs going, and I'm glad things are finally going well for you.
You got the bachelor pad
All
all
right.
set, ready to go.
Gear Grind, thanks for the link, but eating right now and can't find my headset. Well, fucking stop filling your face because I had to stop filling mine and find your headset and get on here, Gear.
Man.
Hey, Gear, excuses don't win ball games. Let's go, huh? Come on.
Speaking of filling your face, went out for dinner tonight with the wife. That's our anniversary, so I parked.
You didn't take your anniversary off?
No.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. I got to partake in the devouring of a 16-ounce ribeye. We went to this local mom and pop's place by us. It's we've seen it there for years, and we're like, it smells so good, and you drive by, it's always packed. Let's check it out. It's like a pub, right? But kind of on the steep side when it comes to the old cashola to go have dinner in there. I'll tell you that right now. But it was good. But I had a 16-ounce ribeye, and it came with like maple bacon covered green beans, which was awesome.
Really?
But then sweet potato, like mashed sweet potatoes with like crushed walnuts or something on top of it, and it looked really fancy. It cost really fancy. But I have to be honest with you, everything everything was good.
Yep.
It was excellent. But as a meal, it seemed like it didn't quite hit. It was like the maple bacon beans and the sweet potatoes were just a little bit something like too sweet to go with the steak or something. with the steak and the green beans, it would have been better to have like some garlic mashed potatoes or a baked potato. I think. I don't know.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
Just
something.
regular mashed potatoes. Fuck your garlic mashed potatoes. Fuck your red fucking peeled fucking whatever fucking mashed potatoes. Regular. Peel a bunch of mashed potatoes. Boil them. Mash them. Dump a shit ton of milk in that. A couple of eggs. Fucking beat the shit out of it. Stick a margarine and call it a day.
She had some scallops, and she liked them. They were good. No complaints there or whatever. But, afterwards, we went on a little ammo hunt adventure.
Nice.
We went to one of our local FFL stores, and they had a ton of 357 Magnum and a ton of 22, and that's it. Nothing else. No 9, no 40, no 45, no 38, nothing like that.
Well, nine's kind of hard lately.
Yeah, it's real hard. So I walked out of there empty-handed because I just and they were extremely gouged on the price. 357 Magnum, they wanted $45 a box.
Wow.
And I just paid $24 for a box last week at a bigger box retailer, like sporting store.
Right.
So I wasn't about to pay double for it, And she goes, "You want to go to Walmart and just see what they have?" And I'm like, I know they don't have pistol ammo at Walmart, and they don't sell 5.56 or 2.23 or nothing like that. So I said, maybe they might have some 22. So let's just go check, because I'm not going to pay the prices that this place wanted for their 22. They wanted $19.99 for a 100, like the Red Rattlers Winchesters.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted like $20 for 122s. I'm like, nah, ain't no way I'm paying that. So we go to Walmart. Walmart is like bone dry. Right now, if you want to purchase a firearm,
Tagalog, right?
I recommend a 270 because every place, like every Walmart in the country that I've been to, well, at least in Ohio that I've been to, always has a shit ton of 270. But here's after dragging us out forever, I'll get to the point of the story now.
That'd be good.
So I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm walking through like by where they have the case of all the air guns and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Did you buy me one?
Well, here's the thing. I came across this one. It's a Barra.
A who?
It's Barra. Barra.
Okay.
How do you pronounce that up there by you? Barra.
Whatever.
It's a 1866. It's a replica of like a Henry Golden Boy. And I'm like, oh shit, it was $60, right? So I'm like, I gotta get this. And I watched a quick video on it on YouTube while I'm standing in the aisle. And I'm like, I wasn't sure. It was a pump. So you grab the lever, like on the lever action gun.
Right.
But it comes all the way up almost like the daisy line or like the power line.
It goes up to the barrel. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, not too keen on that. I was hoping it was like a CO2 thing or something, it would have been cool. And I'm like, okay, oh well, I'm still getting it. So then I'm looking around like, oh shit, no, they got this Ruger brake barrel, right? I'm like, I've always wanted one of these brake barrels. So fuck it, I'm finally going to pull the trigger on one of these brake barrels and get one of them. Come with the scope and everything. It was $100 at Walmart. Okay, I got a buddy that's got one. I know they're decent guns. So I get a hold of course, there's nobody in the sporting goods section, so you got to walk down to paint and all that shit. Electronics. You get somebody, then they announce it over the speaker. That's right. So it takes them like 20 minutes to come back there. I'm like, Jesus, Then the guy's like, what can I do? I was like, I need you to open the cabinet so I can get this gun out of here, this pellet gun. And he's like, oh, the computer's down. I said, okay. He's like, I can't sell any guns. The computer's down. I can't do a background check. I'm like, it's a pellet gun. And he's like, all guns got to have a background check. I'm like, it's a pellet gun. And I was like, there's no background check on a pellet gun.
Where were you in Mass?
No, Ohio. So I'm like, all right, can you go get somebody else that can explain this to you? And he's gone for like another 15, 20 minutes. He comes back with this lady.
Right on, Matt. Matt, resist attorney, says hello, by the way.
Hey, what's up?
Well, let me tell you exactly what he said. He said, longest story ever.
Right, I know. Yeah. Well, sorry.
It's all right.
But anyway,
it's Saturday, but go ahead.
So he brings a female manager or whatever in. She walks up. She's like, he tells me that there's an issue with something. I'm like, yeah, I just want to buy this pellet gun. She's like, well, he's telling me that the computer's down and he can't run background checks. So I went through the whole it's a fucking pellet gun thing again for like 10 minutes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just done with you people. You wasted enough of my time tonight. And I walked out of there. I mean, I was pissed like up until until now still, I guess.
Well,
so there,
hey,
end of the longest story ever.
The only problem I ever had when I was buying my muzzle loader, the only problem I ever had was, and I can't really blame them, is because I was out of state. He asked me for an ID, and my ID didn't match my license didn't match my what do you call it?
Your address?
My FID didn't match my license. So the manager's like, and he's like, well, if we do this, and I'm like, he says, because he's out, he's not a resident, blah 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 blah. So I just had to wait. Once I did, I walked in, walked out. And that's what I love about New Hampshire. You can just walk in, walk out.
I just don't.
That's why I hate this fucking state.
Well,
although I walked in and bought my own pellet gun in Massachusetts and had no problem with it. So
if you're going to have somebody working in a department that deals with certain things, shouldn't that person have some type of knowledge of those things? Because that has gone. I mean, that's everywhere we go. It's gone. If you try to go to any big box store and they're sporting goods to buy a gun or ammo or anything, the kid or the person behind the counter doesn't know a damn thing.
Well, when I worked at Service Merchandise, the guy came in to buy a Browning shotgun, right? And the girl behind the counter wouldn't let the guy buy it because he didn't have his license. And I go, did I just overhear him say that he has a license to purchase automatic weapons? And she said, yeah. I go, give him the fucking shotgun. I says, the number should be on the top of that fucking thing he's got anyways, which it was. But I'm like, sweetheart, if he's got a license for all that, he's got a license to fucking, all right, let's see who's been in and out and all that. Now that
Not the longest story ever.
You ever make fun of me again, I will fucking kill you. I'll just fucking replay this for fucking hours. And Shalisa, by the way, paid me to say that.
8-minute story.
It's all right. Shalisa paid me to say it. Jay Watt was in here first. Miss Shalisha Shell, of course, is in here with us. Gerald B., happy birthday, my friend. Gear grinding. Gear. Put the food down. Put the headset on. Let's go. Get in here.
Yeah, come on, Gear. Bring your food with you.
Bar means no. Hey, everyone. Even you, Mikey. Keep
Mikey,
it up, Bar.
Did you hear me tell you to send Resist a link? Do you know how to? Can you get a hold of him anyway? Do you have him?
Yeah, I think so. Give me 1 sec here.
Right. I'm only going to be here for another 10 minutes or so.
Oh, that's one more story.
One more story, and then I'm out of here. Yeah.
P2E joins us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, P2E. G-Trap is in the house. What's going on, brother? Boss said you should have taken your wife to Taco Bell. You took it to Walmart. That's so an Ohio thing to do. No shit, right, brother?
Actually, she took me to Walmart.
Jay Watt says, haha, I get cases of 2,400 rounds for $6. Red Riders rule. Who did I miss? Anybody? No. You're welcome, Jezzo. You're welcome. Anyways. Hang on, let me go back to Facebook.
Whoa, what's this dude doing? Holy shit.
Holy shit, Batman.
Had a semi just do a 3-lane change on me.
And for those of you who are trying to figure everything out, why is he? I have him on my Facebook and it's not letting me. Matt, did you change your they changed Facebook around? This is fucking retarded.
They change Facebook all the time.
This is stupid. Where is? Oh, I don't like the new Facebook at all.
So before I get to work, can we talk about the big news from last night?
Yeah. Why don't you please? Because I was gonna go down that
So
road.
what are you guys' thoughts on the old 45 getting the?
Well, I did you see my? I wished him well.
Well, I just read a little bit ago that he was moved from the White House to some hospital. He's at a hospital now.
Yeah, I think he's at Walter Reed or something like that. I see in Ohio.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, for I think that's where he's going to do his quarantine.
All I know is I was working last night. And one of the guys came in and was like,
He's in my fucking Facebook. All right there.
one of the guys came in and
Matt,
was
I
like,
have you already. I don't know why I don't have.
go to your friends, go to your page.
I know. That's right. And I plug. You're not listening. You just don't listen. Listen to me closely. Okay.
I'm listening closely.
I've already been on Matt's. I was already friends with Matt on Facebook. Okay. And when I typed in M, usually if I type in MAT, the only ones that'll come out are people named Matt on my Facebook account.
Right. Listen. Here
Okay.
you go, though.
Listen, I already sent them the link. It's all good.
Oh, it's good. Okay.
Because I don't have another half hour for you to talk.
All right.
Let me see.
So, before we were interrupted, what were we saying about
Oily.
the guy came in last night and said, "Hey man, you see, on the news or whatever, the president, he got tested positive for COVID." And I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't even have a TV. We have a TV at the station." So I was like, I turned it on, and it stays
AMCK,
on.
what's up?
And I watched it for like 10, 15 minutes, got the gist of what was going on. And then I said, I have to do it. I got to turn it over to CNN just to see what they're all about with the stuff, how they're doing the breaking news. They were like kids in a fucking candy store over there, man. Talking about it was 10 minutes in, they were talking about how it affects, how his aide had it on Wednesday, tested for it on Thursday, and they still went to New Jersey. How irresponsible of a president. What happens if he can't, fulfill his,
The usual mumbo jumbo.
duty.
Yep.
Can't fulfill his duty or whatever. They were going through the, that goes to the vice president, and then
Right.
if the vice president happens, and it would go to the speaker of the house, and they're running their whole gambit of like, should the president be held responsible for anything if Joe Biden gets it because he went to the debate and didn't disclose that he had it? It's like, what the hell are these people doing, man?
And you know what they're doing? Here's what,
Delusional liberal crap in their head.
well, HRM, how are you, brother? Matt, you get the link? Let me know. If you have time, anyways. Swamp Donkey, what's up, kid? HRM says new. Easier moderation. Press the alternate key to the pause chat, then point up. What? No. Easier moderation. Huh? Oh. There he is. Where did we just go? Okay, there we are.
What's up, brother Matt?
Hey,
Everybody, welcome. Say hello to RTT Guns and Gear.
haven't been on a live stream for a while.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
What's happening, guys?
Has anybody figured out who the hell Jersey Trailer Trash is yet? You guys
No.
out in the chat room?
No,
You
probably
guys are
not.
killing me. Guys are killing me. But you know what, Ohio? Matt, how you been? You know what, Ohio? It's how they are. I swear to God, they're like little 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls. They're not happy unless they're bitching about something.
Yeah, it was a comedy show. I'm sure Matt knows exactly what I was talking about.
What's that? I caught a little bit. You were talking about the president getting corona, and
Right.
somebody said something about like the order in which who's the next president,
Yeah,
order
so-
of succession.
Like-
That's all I caught.
Yeah, I was just saying how we watched the gist of it on Fox News last night at like 1 a.m. Got the breaking news, found out that he had, had the tested positive, Melania tested positive, their aide tested positive, they're being quarantined at the White House, blah, 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 blah. There's the fact, right? That's what we know. So we just had to do it. We flip over to CNN and they're already talking about secession of leadership and how unprofessional it was and how irresponsible it was to continue to campaign and go do the, what if Joe Biden gets it because he had it at the debate? Is he going to be held responsible for that? And all kinds of crazy fucking made up shit in their head.
Now I know why you called it comedy, because it was mainstream news. But
yeah,
if he hadn't tested positive, maybe I'd missed something, right? And so if he hadn't tested positive prior to the debates, how the hell is it irresponsible to go to the debate?
Right.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. I mean, it's like you're supposed to walk around with these people, checking your. I mean, it's just
like a timeline doesn't matter to these people,
I hope I've worn a mask exactly one day, not even a day. It was for like 3 hours through this whole thing since like February. And I'm actually sick right now. I got this real bad chest cold right now. Still don't have the corona. But
how can you be sick when you don't have the corona? That's all we got. That's all you.
right.
Right. Right. Like nobody gets sick or dies of anything. Like car wreck, COVID related. It's just everything is COVID related.
Hey, okay. My family right now, my cousin, he's fighting with Ohio right now because, his son died of a heroin overdose, and they have it as a COVID death.
But I hope the president makes it through it, and I hope his picture, like from the hospital bed when they announce that he's fine, is this.
Oh yeah.
Yep, because not for anything. Not for anything.
His entire family surrounding him by the hospital bed with no masks on.
That would be out of a shirt. Fuck COVID.
That as much as I couldn't stand Ohio's girlfriend Hillary and all that politically and all that, right? I would never in a million years wish this on anybody. I've seen it with two people that I know that are in my life, that what it can do to you. And you know what? Just because I don't like somebody politically doesn't necessarily mean that I think they're a bad person. I think they might suck at doing what they're doing. Doesn't make them a bad person. People don't, and this is the problem. People can't differentiate between sucking as a politician, but still being a decent person. You know what I mean? And now you got these people. Oh, he's fucking. You know what?
Yeah,
Shut up.
There's like one good example of that, and that's Jimmy Carter. You know,
Yeah,
he's the worst, one of the worst presidents ever. But
yeah.
damn it, he's a good person. You know.
No, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's like I can disagree with you on something, Ohio, right? But we're not. You know what I mean? When it comes to fucking Trump, some people are just stone ignorant. They are just so tunnel visioned of oh my God, he's such a loser, he's such a racist, he's such a womanizer, he's this. Let him fucking die of corona. And I'm like, are you serious right now? I mean, these people have it's just phenomenal. It really is.
That's
it really is.
Cold.
It is. It's very cold. I agree.
Oh, and real quick, Matt get a kick out of this. Hey, do you remember all those prepping videos that everyone made all those years ago that said buy 5.56 and 9mm because there's always going to be abundance of it if something happens?
Yeah.
I'm seriously thinking about buying a 270, man.
Don't you wish you started? Don't you wish you reloaded? Huh?
Me?
No, him.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know. I mean,
you can't find anything for reloading now anyway. So.
Right, yeah, you can't find anything for reload. I looked into it, and it was just going to cost me a lot of money to get started. And I don't think I actually shoot enough to, my days at the range aren't like.
But if you're prepping for it, you would have had enough 9mm by now, and you'd be all set.
Listen, I've got 9mm, and I've got 5.56. It's just I don't have enough to go out and shoot paper with it and have fun.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I've got enough 22 to go do that.
Jay Watt says, because Stone Cold Mikey said so. Let me tell you something, Jay Watt. I should introduce. Go back on Matt's channel in that and look at what's his name there from years ago. He looks like Stone Cold, not me.
Yeah, I'm down to 3,000 or 4,000 rounds 9mm right now, which is like that's that low point for me where I'm like I don't really want to do a whole lot of shooting right now, and I'm switching to 22. I just posted 300 rounds of CCI mini mags on my Instagram because that's what I'm going to be shooting all weekend this weekend.
Hey, ya guns girl.
Josie Trailer Trash just finally decides he wants to speak. And by the way, you guys,
just to talk to your girlfriend.
Just to help you all out.
Sorry, Matt. I just had to do that.
That's P2E, you guys. So, all right. I can't believe that people don't know that they couldn't get it by the name.
Yeah, but his trader isn't trash anymore.
Yeah, seriously thinking about purchasing a 270 for this reason only.
Well,
I was going to buy that pellet gun because you can still have fun with a high-powered pellet gun.
Ohio, I'll get in that pellet gun in a minute, but Cheryl B says the Lee Anvil set, is that what A and B stands for? Is cheap to start with, a single stage press.
Yeah. Well, I know. I looked into a lot of it. It was just that, like I said, I don't do enough.
Well, I know you're on your phone and you can't see the things, so I just thought
I used to reload. I sold it all years ago, though.
I've got a couple buddies that we all, Armament Axis.
He reloads.
He reloads, and what I do is I give him all my brass, and then when I go shooting with him, he's like, "Here, brother," and he's always like, "Just shoot this, throw some shit my way,"
Right.
So,
you're talking about them pellet guns there, right? But I'm going to tell you, I've been looking into these air guns, not CO2 air guns, fucking tank air guns. Dude.
Oh yeah, like the ones that take the paintball tanks or whatever.
No, wait, dude, way above that. They're hunting fucking deer and fucking moose
Yeah, I
and
know. I've
water
seen like
buffalo and
50 caliber pellet gun.
yeah.
It's crazy.
And you find these people, right? This guy says, I want to know if I can cut it down a little bit because I just want something for a home defense because I'm not allowed to have a firearm in my home. So I said to the guy, can you have? Does your state consider a muzzleloader a firearm? He says, well, no, they don't. I says, well, if you don't want to go through the expense of having the air gun, either buy yourself get yourself
Get an
a
Old
muzzle.
Navy revolver.
No, a muzzle. No, just tell them to get a. Well, because some states consider the revolvers handguns. Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
But I said to him, I go, turn your muzzleloader into a fucking shotgun.
Could you imagine breaking
And just
into
buy shot. Just buy shot and fucking. You know what I mean?
You imagine breaking into somebody's house and seeing somebody like Matt standing there with like a blunderbuss from 1600s.
I'll tell you what though. They have this they got this 30 caliber air gun. It's full auto. I don't give a rat's fuck if I was 20 feet away. And they have slugs to go with it. I'm still not standing in front of it.
Well, even those paintball guns, if you buy
Not at 800 and something feet per second, it's coming out and it's hitting you at 54 pounds of energy. Horse manure. I'm not standing in front of it.
These pepper guns that these cops are using for these riders and stuff, they're just paintball guns is all they are with mace balls in them.
Oh, we lost what's her face.
Yeah, hey, I gotta run. I'll be in the side chat.
You ain't running anywhere. Don't lie.
I gotta walk at a leisurely pace.
Don't lie. You ain't running.
But I'll be in the side chat, and if there's nothing going on, I might jump back in. We'll see.
All right.
Sounds good night, Ohio.
I'll be around. If I can figure out how to get.
I couldn't find the red button. He kills me.
Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, he was doing one of his I think it was gun meme videos, and if I remember correctly, it was like a picture in 3 stages. It was like regular home defense, and it just showed like a shotgun, and then it said serious home defense, and it was like a SBR with IR stuff on it and magnifier and silencer and all that, and then it said scary home defense, and it was a hatchet and a flashbang.
I like that one. That's a good one. But that's the old. It's the oldest argument in the that I'll go and I'll I'm not on panels, but I'll go and listen to some gun channel chats, Matt, and they are still arguing on what to use for home defense. And you know what? I just it's whatever you want. Now, if finally they had what the hell's his name? You know him if I said his fucking name too. He's fucking huge. He said, all depends where you live. Are you in an apartment complex? Are you in, He says, but at the time, if all you have is, weapon A, then weapon A is your choice. It's as simple as that.
I think the most correct answer is whatever will always work.
An Italian mom with a wooden spoon.
That might work too.
Because one of the answers, because I see this on like gun pages and stuff on Facebook and social media. It's like, what is the best carry gun or home defense gun? And people say whatever you have. And I'm like, no, that's not necessarily accurate, because if you have some, whatever, pick the 1980s 32 ACP that didn't run ever. No, that's not the best one you can have.
Right.
Just because you have it, because it's probably not going to work the first shot. So one of the most irky things I hear is it's personal preference.
I know it's hard. It's hard, but it
sort of is, but it's not.
But if you want, I mean, for complete safety wise, so you're not shooting through the walls and all that. Everybody I've ever talked to said either double out buck or turkey shot. But not for nothing, Matt. Right? And I'm not picking on you.
Yeah.
You walk into my house, 2 a.m. You're robbing me. Whatever you're gonna do. All right. Now I'm not poking fun. I don't even care if it's in a 20. It doesn't matter if it's a 12 gauge, 20 gauge, whatever. I'm gonna pepper you with turkey shot. All right. If I don't hit you, like, if you're like 10 yards away or whatever, you can still come at me, and that's my only problem with using turkey shot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's gonna hurt. You don't misunderstand me, and obviously you know this, but you know what I'm saying. I thought my philosophy was, if you have no other way and you have to shoot somebody, shouldn't it be to make sure they can't shoot back? I mean,
in my opinion, in my opinion,
what I mean.
Your job is to eliminate the threat.
Absolutely.
How that threat is eliminated needs to be very quickly. And like birdshot out of like my shotgun, birdshot at 10 yards is still almost the size of the bore.
Right.
It's maybe a little bit bigger than the bore. It's going to do a ton of damage, but does that mean that I'm going to suggest birdshot to somebody for home defense? No.
But it's it's
in the same way that a 308 will dispatch somebody very nicely. Correct. But it will dispatch that person, their fridge across the street,
exactly,
the neighbor's dog beyond that. Yeah.
Yep. And it's just, but it's amazing how long that debate will last, though. Philly, what'd you say? 30 millimeter? Yeah. But it's amazing that I mean, it's some people have that they have what they have. Where did it go? Gerald B says he's coming down the stairs. He's got his 9 and a double barrel 12 going. I mean, that's he's up in God's country up in Maine, and there isn't. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to hit the neighbor's cat. You know what I'm saying?
My newest one, because as guns change, the argument will change, obviously. Right. And I think, in my opinion, one of the runners-up, at least, I believe, is a pistol length, like a 7 or 10 inch AR, chambered 9 millimeter. So a pistol length, pistol AR. They're extremely easy to use, so anybody in the house can use it, trained or not. They're extremely easy to use, very little recoil. You throw a red dot on it, you sight that red dot, you put the dot on whatever you're shooting,
right.
And
like you said,
apartment, house, it doesn't matter. Pistols are inherently harder to use than a rifle, so you get a pistol caliber that you can shoulder. I mean, it checks all the boxes for new shooters, for effectiveness, for weight, for ease of use. You know what I mean? It checks all the boxes. And so I'm leaning more towards something like a 7 or 8 or 10 inch pistol caliber AR lately. And Glock mags are cheap.
This is true.
They use Glock mags. So the Glock aftermarket mags are dirt cheap.
Fucking Phil, you out of your mind. Crossbow with a flaming arrow. That'll get the fight in my top end there quicker. Guns Girl, how are you, sweetheart? Who did I miss here? Somebody. Yeah, all right, Jay Watt. All right, that's it. Okay, let me see. That's not probably corporate management fraud to keep up prices up. Good point. HRM. But I'll tell you again tonight. At work, there's 3 more pallets of ammo went out the door. So it's not that they're out of it. I'll tell you that right now. So I don't know what they're doing. I totally think that these guys are holding it, but that's just my own opinion.
I like.
I'm not talking about somebody buying it and hoarding it. I'm talking about stores. I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I like the crossbow with flaming arrow idea.
Yeah, that's Philly. Yeah, he's
outside
quiet.
of catching your own house on fire. Can you imagine the YouTube hits you'd get on that? Put like a GoPro on your crossbow and.
Gerald B says I'd go with my 7mm mag and not have to worry about my neighbors. You don't even have neighbors.
That's why.
Oh, we lost P2E slash. So that's a Jersey guy. Yeah, no, he, and that's what I'm saying. But I mean, still, it doesn't matter that the next house is whatever half a mile down the street. He still has, he can't shoot within. You're not going to want to. I mean, depending upon where the intruder might be. Obviously, if you have children near the end of the house or a wife or whatever, like you said earlier, you definitely don't want to be going through walls and shit. But naming games don't miss either. But Mikey, can you get that sawed-off shotgun in the Swansea? Yeah, I don't know. Shot-off shotgun, doesn't that get you like 20 years nowadays? 15 years? I think it does, Philly.
I think illegal. I don't know that there's a difference, but I do believe that for every illegal thing done to a gun is 10 years.
Is it?
Every one thing. I remember that. The only reason I remember that is remember when all these people were cutting up their ARs on YouTube, and
which made no sense.
I remember during that, whatever, a few years back when that was happening, somebody going through and going, that guy's a politician doing it or a lawyer or something, and he ought to know that every one of those cuts is getting him 10 years because he modified it illegally every time.
Yep. No, it's we have a what Phil was referring to is Phil and I used to work together, and we had this customer out in western part of New Hampshire that his kid took a beautiful old, like real old double barrel shotgun, and he chopped it up. He wanted to kill his kid. But he keeps saying he would always ask, we want to buy this, you want to buy it? And I'm like, no, that's just not. I don't need to get caught with something like that. That'd be the only, you know what I'm saying? I just don't need it.
I think you can saw a shotgun down to 18 inches.
18. But anything after that is, I mean, this thing had to be, Philly, what is it at? 14, 16 inches or something like that?
He can't actually hear you if you raise your voice.
Oh, you can't?
No, he's out in the chat room.
Oh, that's right. Phil's used to me raising my voice. Phil's used to me raising my voice.
Yeah, he said MCK said 18.5. But what's the legality at the pistol grip as well? Because you can buy some of those super short shotguns that have the bird's head grip, like I don't even know what they're called, but Remington and Mossberg both make one.
You wouldn't think that I would know this because I have 2 Mossbergs.
But they're little short shotguns, like 3-round capacity.
Yes.
They have a little bird heads knob handle on them. But I think they're any other weapon. I don't know that they're considered shotguns. I can't remember though. I don't know, and I am not practiced enough in shotguns to have that answer. What is the short?
Who's that? Is that Jay Watt being a wise? He's probably just being a wise ass. Is that what that was? Mario, I'm trying here, kid.
Shockwave.
Yes. Mario, you and I aren't on Facebook together. Could have sworn we are. I know we are. You know what? I don't like the new Facebook at all. I can't send. I'm having a very hard time sending links today. It took me forever.
I had to refriend you.
Yeah, I know. I said that's what I kept saying. Friggin' I kept saying to friggin' Ohio. I'm like, dude, I'm on that. You know, we're friends. He's like, Mike. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I was watching, obviously, so I just got on my computer and I heard you say something about Facebook, so I started typing your name. Same thing as you said. You would think that by the time I got done with Mike,
Yep,
you'd have popped up, but you didn't, and so I started finishing, and then you finally popped up and it said add friend. I'm like, huh?
Mario, you got a link, kid. It just takes forever, kid. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you're right, MCK.
Would I run everybody off?
I don't know where the hell they all went. I think what's the name fell off. I don't know what P2E because he's I don't even see him. He's not even in the comments anymore. Joe B says I seen a vid on them. Seen a 20 gauge and a 410 short shotgun. Yeah, I've seen the short 410. I haven't seen the short 20 though. But rifles barrels on the 419-45 Colt. Huh. There's another argument. Can you shoot a slug to a rifle barrel? MCK says it's 26 inches overall length. He said so. Is legal, correct? You're right, MCK. And Oily, I miss Oily. Did you even get your link either? What is going on with Facebook tonight?
I've been pretty not happy with
it's
their changes.
It's getting to a point now that I'm gonna have to do it by email. And you know what's wrong with my stupid email, right? So my Yahoo email years ago, and it's not even on my Yahoo email anymore. Anyway, it would say it would have my list, of people. I don't have that on my Gmail account. I grabbed my wife. I goes, hon, look, find it for me. I go, here's my email. We're on the laptop. I goes, hon, find it for me. He's like, this is the stupidest thing. I'm like, no kidding. Jay Watt, is that a real link?
Yeah, back in the day when Google Hangouts, remember Hangouts? When that actually worked.
I think that worked the best anyways, but
it slowly got worse.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that once Google took over YouTube, everything got worse and continued getting worse. But
with all
I can remember the early stages of Google Hangouts, and it was just seamless.
Yeah, and you always got like if when you were having your chat, I always notification bang. There was none of this, and everything was simple. Now, because I'm in a pissing contest, they have to screw everything up. And I swear to God, it's just a pissing contest on why they changed it all. But
With you?
no. With the way we have to get on chats now, using either StreamYard or what's his name uses. He doesn't use StreamYard. He uses another one.
There's another one?
But but it's you know what? You got to be a friggin' genius to understand the fucking thing. Hey, P NASCAR's Brenda, how are you? Mario didn't want to answer me when I told him he had a link in his Facebook.
Come on, Mario. Come on, Mario.
And you know what? Mario, that Sunday night that what's his name didn't show up for you there. The Scotsman.
Scotsman said he was going to invite me to do some contest, like it was MRE crackers. It was supposed to be a contest of eating MRE crackers, and I was like,
really?
well, yeah, I'll do that, but he never got a hold of me. There's Mario's email.
I can't click on it. Shit.
Highlight it. Here.
How do you do that?
All right, I'll put it in our private chat, then you can do it.
Okay. That'd be good.
No, in fact, I'm going to go back to Facebook and send it to you.
Okay.
Where would you rather have it?
No, I haven't. You can put it in Facebook to be easy.
Would you rather have it in the Facebook or the?
Yeah, the Facebook. Just to make sure I'll
that way you don't lose it too.
P2E, where'd you go, kid? Welcome back.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go, Mario. I gave it to him in the face. Look.
That should go right to I clicked on it. That should go right to the Yahoo. Well, this is really starting to piss me off. None of this stuff is like the old days. None of it. And it's really a shame. Let me do it this way.
Are you there yet?
No. If you're there, if you can do it, you can do it.
If you're not there yet,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to send him the link you sent me.
Yeah, send him.
I'm going to send him the link you sent me.
Go right ahead, please, sir, and much thank yous, because this is just silly. It's so weird. Everything's like on the right side and not the left where I put it. And... Okay, somebody's peeping in at me. Oh, Ohio's back. Welcome back.
What's up?
Sorry, man. We're just getting all screwed up here. I'm trying to send Mario a thing and blah blah blah, and now Matt's finally sending them one, but it's just a mess, kid. We were just discussing how bad they screwed everything up. You might as well send Scotsman one too while you're there, Matt, if you don't mind. See that? Matt's helping me out because you're not here, Ohio.
Yeah, I just sent 2 out also, so I sent some links out to some trolls, that way they can come in and
you better not have sent links out to trolls.
Okay, that should have done that for
excellent. Thank you,
Mario.
Yeah. Armament and Access. Check your
Matt, I wasn't even thinking, Matt. I can just really kind of just do this, I suppose.
Right out of the chat room.
Right? I mean, but then you're going to get
Are you heading back over there?
You know, then I got to
You run
stop
the risk.
fighting on.
You run the risk.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get every Tom, Dick, and Harry now.
The nice thing about StreamYard is you have to approve the person coming in.
Exactly.
Whereas in the old days, you'd get some half-naked dude showing up just out of the blue.
Yep.
You know, and it was always a gamble doing a public link before.
Ruger makes a Creedmoor? Big Al. Me time with the Ruger Creedmoor. I'll watch that later. There you are.
Hey.
Sorry it took so long.
Guys. Dude, I don't know. This whole thing is weird now. Now
I know,
it's like some sort of Facebook link or some crap.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, Scotsman, that's the link. So if you want in, just click it. Besides, Matt and I were just talking about you. I'm sorry, Mario. Go ahead.
No worries, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Right on,
Mr. RTT. What's up, bro?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, man. And then you got Wolverine over here starting shit. You know he's gonna start some shit.
I'm here. What's up?
Some shit.
He's gonna come up with some conspiracy bullshit. I already know it. So let's hear it, Ohio.
The conspiracy bullshit. Hashtag together because Trump and his wife are going through the quarantine together. So is it hashtag together or is it hashtag to get her? As in Hillary Clinton, it's time to get her. Which one is it? What do we need? I mean, help us out here, Q people.
Both, bro. So good.
Or is it pound together?
Pound together. Oh,
Hi. Okay, I don't know about Hillary. That's kind of nasty, bro.
No, that's Ohio's girlfriend.
That's like some hillbilly fucking porn there. I'm not down with that shit.
That's Ohio's dream. That's Ohio's dream girl. You remember Matt back in the day? He'd be on his chat or on with David or somebody. He'd say, "Don't forget, you guys, Mikey D sleeps with Hillary." Oh yeah, they'd be breaking my balls all the time.
You finally stopped that, right?
Well, the best part.
Loving Hillary.
The best part of the Me Too movement is the hashtag Me Too, but everybody over like 30 years old sees the hashtag as the pound sign. So pound Me Too. That was great.
Pound Me Too. Yeah.
How are you there, Mr. Domesticated Foreigner?
I'm all right, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We were just talking, Matt and I were just talking about you.
Good to see you. Good to see Matt, man.
Yeah, it's a miracle that fucker's out here. What's up, fool? I thought you'd be working.
It's Friday night, dude. I'm finally off.
Man, I thought they work you like a Mexican and shit.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Si, senor.
Sometimes they do. It's maintenance weekend off, so that means I get the weekend off.
Yeah, but he don't work that far south, does he?
Oh, that's right. You're maintenance. You don't actually really work there, do you? It's not like you're on first
Oh, no,
line.
I'm not maintenance. No, but if maintenance has the weekend off, then we're all off.
Oh.
I work in the press room. I operate all the machines and everything that makes all the parts.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was on like first test and weld line when I worked there.
Yeah, I'm in the press room. I deal with all the robots. I deal with all the making the parts. Some of it we do by hand. Other stuff's done by robots and stuff like that. So
robots.
Man.
Rework.
Not even CNC. Go ahead, Matt.
Is it just me, or do you feel like fucking Predator every time you?
I don't know, but you know what? Don't cut off Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh. All I was asking was where do you work?
I'm in a steel factory, man. We make basically we are the biggest manufacturer in the entire country when it comes to gas cylinders, propane cylinders, big rigs. You have all those big tankers. We make all of that kind of stuff that transport oil, fire hydrants, you name it. We make all of that
trucks,
stuff.
So I know all about those big tanks on the trucks. I used to build the trucks that, you know, when they would order the tank and build the truck, Yeah.
Yeah, we do all of that stuff. Fire hydrants, fire extinguishers, the whole 9 yards. All of that stuff is all us. We're the biggest manufacturer in the United States.
Them fire hydrants are heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Heavy.
But they
One
come
of
out of
the
the ground
ones,
so easy.
I forget what they call it now because I haven't been on that side for a while.
It's all Mario's
Shit.
fault.
Forget the hell they call it, but it's probably a good. It's about 1.5 feet tall by about 1.5 feet wide, and I swear to you, it probably weighs as much as Mario. It's fucking heavy.
Mario,
Back
how
when I
much do you
was,
weigh?
Uh,
He's saying a fire hydrant weighs as much as you do.
Probably.
Hell, they might even weigh more, man. They're heavy. Is that?
Yeah, they're pretty heavy, bro.
Yeah, they come out of the ground too easy, though. I'll tell you that. I've done one. So
See,
Hey,
no, Mike.
on my
Mike,
truck.
stop running into
I
with
didn't
your
run into
car or
them.
your truck. They don't.
Hey,
Yeah, 40 miles an
What's up?
hour hitting any.
Took it out with the rear bumper of my truck.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Scotsman. Oh, I can tell you this, man. I've been driving, construction dump truck for the past 20 years, and in this past year, I watched two people, one in a front end loader, and another guy in a dump truck back into poles and knock them over. And I was like, I couldn't even get on the microphone on my CB fast enough to go, hey, but it just knocked them over. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
if I could, the weird thing is if my eyes were a camera and I could record all that, man, some of the stuff I've seen over the years, it's kind of weird, but it's good to see y'all.
I seen a Toyota Camry knock out about 160-pound pedestrian the other day. That was pretty cool. I didn't realize how high you fly up.
Well,
in the air
160 pounds. Yeah, 100. Well, look at this. Velocity equals energy. Look at what bullets, a little itty bitty bullet does at a certain speed. Now, if that bullet's going 2 miles an hour, it's going to bounce off you. If that bullet's going 100 miles an hour, you're going to bounce off it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. No, I was just going to say, I don't think Ohio Wolverine and Crazy Scotsman have ever. We tried to make it happen, but it didn't happen.
What? No, that's being very vague.
We were at the range together.
Oh, the range.
Were
Okay,
we?
because I thought you were going
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we've all shot together. What are you, drunk?
Oh,
Usually
that's right.
what
Yeah,
happens.
that's right. We did one time. That's right. And okay,
Yeah, we sent
Yes,
selfies to
I
Mikey.
have been drinking. Shut up.
You
One time
can't
in
tell.
Manhattan,
You can't tell. It's like, what else is there to do out where you live? I mean, really.
Well, it's Friday night.
So
Well, I'm answering troll comments. I don't know about anyone else.
Oh, we got trolls.
Jay Watt's here. Jay Watt says, paging Mr. Herman. Paging Mr. Herman.
Mr.
Oh,
Pee Wee
I
here.
commented on Johnny's video, and I'm getting troll comments left, right, and center. I'm just answering those.
Yeah, I'm just about over trolls, man.
I just have fun with them, dude.
I'll stop, Matt. I'm the guy that says that you're like short stroking everything and riding the slide. I'm that guy.
Yeah, but you're right on those. like the guy that, and this is less of a I don't give a shit comment than it was a troll comment. So on one of my holster reviews, the guy said, well, I was wearing one of those holsters during a class or something, and the gun came out of my pants, and it's an inside waistband holster. And I said, well, it sounds to me like not a holster problem as much as it is a tighten your fucking belt problem.
Right.
If just laying down the gun slides out of your holster, you got a whole lot more problems going for you than the holster.
And user issue.
And so he decides to come back with, well, I wasn't going to post my resume, but I had that problem as when I was teaching people as well. Like,
Oh, here comes our
Probably
NRA
shouldn't be teaching
instructor.
people.
but my brain just kind of does this, like, that's your resume? Like, you told me you teach people? I'm tired of those people. Like,
I
the guy,
had
You know he's got his 12 hours
I can say
NRA
this,
basic
that-
pistol instructor.
like the guy I posted to
that's-
Facebook.
Yeah.
I posted
What?
to Facebook
People
that
say, "Oh, I'm a trainer. How many hours you got?" Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I posted to
Uh.
Facebook a comment from my Men 2 magazine. The guy
You know,
said,
when I go to any class, I don't say shit. I don't know anything. I'm just here to learn.
yeah,
I don't tell anybody my background because I don't need to know that shit. And my thing is, you're there to learn. So my thing is,
it's like I went to a course here. It's been almost 2 months. I went up to Wisconsin for a course.
yeah,
I
you
didn't tell them everything I know. I didn't tell them any of my training, anything I know already, or nothing. I went in there ready, willing to learn what they're trying to show and all the rest of it. And it wasn't until day 3 that I'm like, look, man, I've been doing this for X amount of years, this, that, the other, and breaking it down. And we had a good discussion, and the guy was open to it. And that's what you want in a trainer.
Right.
You want a trainer that's willing to go back and forth with you and be able to explain what he's teaching and why. If he can't do that, he's not doing it right. He's got to be able to explain why, what, and everything else that he's doing.
It's like you getting karate lessons from that dude in Napoleon Dynamite. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, seriously, if I go to teach someone how to throw a proper punch and I can't explain to them how and what I'm doing, it's
Two
useless.
knuckles.
Absolutely
knuckles.
useless.
2 knuckles.
Actually, you don't use your knuckles anymore.
No, you use your first 2 knuckles. Proper punch.
Nope.
But anyway,
use your damn elbow.
Or the
yeah, well, I'll use
or
a
the palm of your
club or
hand.
a sharp stick
I'm
or
telling
whatever's
you.
handy.
Palm of your hand.
Scotsman, you're exactly right. Going into any training course, you're right. Go into it with an open mind and see what you got to have. Now, you're telling me the instructor was open to you to talk to you and say, look, I've been doing this. I came here to learn something maybe I didn't know, but you were saying, look what I have learned. And he was open to that. And that's cool. Unfortunately, there's a lot of instructors out there that think they know what they're doing and have not even experienced.
Well, and like, for example, Matt did a video on this a while, not too long ago, but getting off the line and what is getting off the line. And this instructor was talking to us about lateral movement and how to do this and how to do that. And I did what he wanted for the class. But at the end of the day, I turned around and talked to him. I was like, look, it's all good me going here and here and here, but unless I'm away from the fight and keep moving, why am I stopping? I shouldn't be stopping. Right? Exactly Matt's point in the video he made. And the guy's like, you're right. You're right. But for the purpose of the training, we teach people this way, and then we progress forward from there. And I'm like, okay, well, I can understand it to a certain level, but understand when you're teaching people to go teach, you have to explain that this is a stopping point for a reason, and then we progress on from there. Don't go ahead and tell me this is what we do, period, stop,
Right.
and stop. You have to go, hey, this is why we're doing this for right now. Once they have a good understanding, then move to the next step.
Jason, you're a martial artist. I was in my younger years. I don't move. Dude, you're like my son's age. Anyway, you remember the phrase, there's no bad students, only bad teachers?
Oh, yeah.
Because the teachers are going to teach the students, and the students are going to take that. And if those students aren't open to other ideas to look and go, well, maybe that wasn't the best. Don't be brainwashed because, oh my gosh, you're my teacher and you're the almighty. Doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean?
And that's it, man. You know, so most of day 3 was us teaching the other students, going back and forth, going through all the drills we had learned for that particular course, and so on and so
Right.
forth. And there was a couple of times he questioned me on what I'm doing, and I'm like, well, you got to understand, I'm running the line. This is how I want to run it, you know, because I'm watching for this instead of what you may be looking for as a teacher. I'm looking for particular things. And again, he was open to that too. And that's what you want. You have to have someone who's open. You know, if you got someone that's already trained and has a good basic understanding of what's going on and controls that line properly, let them do what they're doing. You know,
Yeah, I've seen a couple of James Yeager videos, so I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
there was people there, and I'm gonna put this in backwards on purpose. There was people there that had zero formal training, trying to be a teacher, and they didn't even know how to clear a jam. And,
So can I interrupt you and ask a really, really retarded question?
yeah, absolutely.
You're explaining to us that a firearm instructor, that's instructing people the proper use and everything else that goes along with firearm usage. You're telling me that they're putting people in these positions that don't know how to get out of a gun jam?
Well, see, this is my thing, Mikey. This is where I got pissed off. I got pissed off on day 1. And I actually went and talked to the people about it. I'm like, look, you never even questioned any one of us as to what experience we have.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, you're bringing people in. They're happy to pay the money. And trust me, it was a lot of money for the course. It wasn't a cheap course. Good course. But at the end of the day, I was very disappointed at the fact that they didn't ask kind of what people's experience are prior to the course itself. No,
That way they would know who to like keep an eye on and who to look out for and know where. Yeah.
Anytime I've taught anybody, I go through and I go, okay, what's your experience? Number one, that's my first thing. I want to know what you know.
Who here has never shot a gun before? And like the 12 of them raise their hand. Okay.
Yep, and that's it. All right, we're doing one round.
Nope, never. What's a gun? What's a gun? They're all at the bottom of the Lake Erie. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, a perfect example of like people thinking that somebody has experience with guns and like is the whole crowd that says like, you know, only the police and military should have guns. And the perfect example is watch cops or live PD or whatever. And anytime they pull a gun off a criminal and they go to put it on the hood of the car, you got like 3 cops standing in a circle struggling to figure out how to clear the gun.
Yep. Well, and you know, the sad part is, and you can attest to this too, I've seen it over the years. I'm sure you've seen it over the years. Most cops, unfortunately, only shoot once or twice a year. Qualification.
Yeah, qualification.
McKenzie?
I've been saying that for years. I worked at a gun store in the 90s. I had an FFL, and it overlapped when I worked at the gun store. And they used to come and qualify at our range. They did it once a year. And I'm telling you this. What was the B-27 man target? If they hit anywhere in the black, which could be the guy's arm, it counted. I'm like,
it counts. If you hit the paper, it counts.
Isn't it a point system? Forgive me. Isn't it a point system? How they do that?
No, not really. And it was like they did it twice a year. And I'm like, most of the cops that came out, and like I said, I lived in front of this range for 6 years with my family. I helped run the range, and I saw in our local, they called it the SRT team. Yeah, I watched them. It was like watching Keystone Cops. They tripped over each other. It was funny. And their sniper came out, and my buddy outshot him with an old 1903 A3. And I said, yeah. Anyway, yeah, they don't train like they should. I'm gonna say this. The most of us on this panel and most of the people in the chat probably shoot more than most cops do.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
that's sad.
It was about I've been at the plant almost 2 years now. Prior to that, I ran the range. And when I ran the range, there was a guy come in to do his qualifications with another cop. I was the RSO at the time on the range, and I'm watching what's going on. Right off the bat, they screw up. They're pulling guns out behind the line when they're supposed to be at the firing line before they pull the firearm, the whole 9 yards. They're already screwing shit up. Dumb shit. Basic, simple shit.
And the biggest factor is safety. If it's all pointed down range, that's great. But when they're doing that shit behind, safety.
I would have treated him like a fucking 10-year-old and said, you know what, go over there.
Oh, I did, dude.
Leave the gun here, go over there.
I don't care who the fuck you are. You're on my range. I'm telling you off. I don't care.
We had the kids.
I wouldn't care if it was fucking Matt and Matt fucked up. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna bitch him out for fucking up. And that's how it should be. Same with Matt. If I fuck up on his range, he should bitch me out. And I'd be okay with it because I fucked up.
A few years back, we had the kids that ranged anywhere from 10 to 19, and we just had small calibers, especially obviously for the younger kids. And my brother was, we let my brother do his thing, and so he said the first thing you're gonna do is listen. He says, and nobody's gonna talk while I'm talking because this, he's going on with the whole thing. Two of the 19-year-olds shooting the shit, not paying attention. He says, "Goodbye, go." Well, wait a minute, we want goodbye, go.
Yep.
Right. We're at the range probably a month after that. Me and a buddy of mine, and this kid's got a shooting his muzzle loader. Well, he squeezes the trigger, nothing. Had a little slow burner. What does he do?
Yeah,
he does one. He does one of these. Hey, what's up with the
bang?
The three of us wanted to beat the shit
out of
him.
Hang fire.
We pushed the barrel that way. We did down range with that fucking gun, please. Within 5 seconds of him putting that gun back down range, that fucking thing went off.
I would have beat the shit out of them. Just me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're not gonna fucking gun at me. I'm
paying attention at a fucking range.
Well,
somebody teaching you something.
I'll give you a prime example. A prime example of stupidity. So someone that worked for me at the range when I was at the range, Marine. So he's got plenty of fucking training. He's a Marine.
Wait a minute. A Marine is just like any other branch. Yes, they're more elite, but it doesn't mean it's just like people saying, "Oh, you were in the military. You should know how to use a gun."
I know.
You know how many people?
Hold on.
Don't pull a Ranger or steal that.
I'm doing this for a purpose. So badass fucking Marine. He's out there RSOing and sends a customer out to the floor. Has a problem with his firearm. Customer comes up to me, sets the box down with the gun inside. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "There's a bullet jammed in there." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "There's a bullet jammed there." I'm like, "Why the fuck are you out here?" He's like, "The RSO told me to come out here." I'm like, "Nope, I'm not having that." Grabbed the gun. Slide would not move whatsoever. I went into the private range. I fucking slammed the shit out of it with my other hand. Like I had to smack the hell out of it. Got it to go on the battery. Pulled the fucking trigger. I went bang. He ran out the fucking other side of the other range. Come out going, "What happened?" I'm like, "You sent a loaded fucking firearm out." That's what happened.
Was that an
Did
AR?
Did you look down the barrel to make sure it was loaded?
Yeah, did you look right down the muzzle?
Yes, like a true Marine would. I looked down the barrel.
Hey, leather guns 50.
well,
don't get me wrong, guys. Guys, don't get me wrong. I love Marines, but I gotta poke fun because, like, seriously, that was a dumb fucking move.
Well, I don't know. If you know, I think RTT's a Marine, ain't he? Aren't you a Marine, bro?
You're right, Jay Watt. Jay Watt says those are all things that should have been discussed prior. even getting
Well,
on
they
the
all
firearm.
know. All the RSLs knew nothing should come off the line. If it's freaking loaded, shouldn't leave the line. Period.
Yeah,
But
and
whatever.
I'm just alive.
But that's just a
reason,
common sense. That's just a not for nothing, right? Even if you never,
and I'll throw
even
this
if you
out
never
there
picked
too.
up a gun in your life, even if you never
I'll-
picked up a gun, even if you never picked up a gun in your life, isn't that just common sense?
It's common sense, but here's the other part to it too. Not only was he a Marine, he was a police officer.
I'm just going to
So,
say that a
I'm
lot of
just
people
throwing
that
that out there.
join the military don't have common sense. So I'm just.
And don't get me wrong, man. I love our military. Obviously, we got Battle Beam with us. We love Battle Beam. You know,
Well, I mean, Mario and Matt can both attest to this. Like you said, just because you're in the military doesn't mean you're a gun expert. Some people
No, you
don't even,
No.
after basic, they end up pushing papers and
Right.
typing on computers or typewriters.
It depends.
I remember.
It depends on your
I remember
MOS.
in basic.
One on
It,
top,
it
go ahead, Matt.
depends on your MOS, which is military occupation specialty. You know, I mean, if you're a fucking grunt like me, I mean, you have a fucking rifle with you at all times. You know, it's just one of those things. I always had a backup M9 as a backup. You know, my first deployment, I had a fucking M16A3 with a fucking 203 grenade launcher. My little short ass 5'6", 185, and I'm carrying all this shit with me. And you know,
Thank
and
you,
it didn't
because
matter.
I don't want to do that. Thank you, Mario.
No,
hang on,
Thank you, Mario.
Yeah.
hang on
Thank you.
a second, Matt. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I just think you just have to have common sense. You really do. You just have to and you know the thing about it is, if you're an infantry unit, they beat the shit out of that shit in your head, like about clearing your weapon, about fucking not flagging people, about just basic etiquette, it just stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like when I carry a rifle, I was carried, pointing down with my fucking finger outside the trigger well. I mean, I'm very conscious to where the fuck my barrel's at. I mean, just little stupid shit like that. But you gotta also understand that there's people that, they touch a rifle in basic training, and then after that they don't touch that shit because they're either turning wrenches, some are fucking on a computer,
Well,
and
exactly. My father-in-law told me that when he was in, because he was in the Navy, he said they didn't even shoot the actual issued rifle. They shot 22s during basic. They shot 22 rifles during basic, and then he was a communications specialist that worked on radios the entire time he was on.
I mean,
Well,
in reality, sometimes what the Navy was doing is they were just giving a familiarity training. I don't even know how to say that right. Sorry. But just getting them familiar with the weapon. I don't think it's the right answer, but I mean, it's a way, I guess. I don't agree with it. I think in reality, I think everybody in the military should have the same concept as the Marine Corps has, where every Marine's a rifleman. You got to have that mentality. Now that the Army has learned a lot about that shit, and is brought up that whole mentality from the Marine Corps, where every soldier's a rifleman. It doesn't matter whether you're a cook or a fucking or a fucking
When the shit hits the
sailor.
fan, you better know how to fight, right?
Yeah, you got to be better
Mario?
know how to fight, because in reality, if you really stop and think about it, that whole fucking ordeal that happened with that girl that got fucking kidnapped in Iraq, I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, the one from West Virginia.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the one that got butt fucked by a bunch of fucking Iraqis. Yeah. Anyways,
she got butt
really,
fucked?
what? Yeah, she did. Yeah, but anyways,
Wow.
the moral of the story is that every one of them had a fucking weapon that they had not cleaned in weeks, and when they fucking try to fucking actually use it, it jammed on them because it was just caked on with fucking sand. And if you
wasn't she in like some type of like water unit or something, or some type of transportation unit or something?
Exactly. But the moral of the story is that, regardless, you should be able to in how can I put it? See, in the infantry, we have what we call PCC, PCIs, right? Pre-combat checks, pre-combat inspections, right? So we fucking check our guys before they go. And I check everything. I check the weapon. I check the fucking ammo. I check, make sure they have enough fucking water, an MRE, all the bullshit that you're gonna need, right? Because we've learned from experiences like Somalia, where we didn't take all of our shit and we got our asses handed to us, and then motherfuckers were fucking struggling. So you check your guys and make sure that they have all the shit that they need in order for them to go to any fucking mission they're at. And that's what did not happen with that unit, is that nobody checked anybody's weapon. Nobody made sure that they were fucking cleaning their weapon, and then when they had to use it, they got their asses overran real quick, and there's nothing they could do. So the moral of the story is that it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as a gun expert in the military. Nobody. Hear me out. With probably the exception of special forces, because those guys get specialized weapons training, and it's not just on U.S. type of weapons. It's pretty much all kinds of weapons. Anything that an enemy can have on you, they learn that shit. And those are the only guys that I would consider like full-time expert, like the actual 18 series, all these other guys like Rangers and shit like that. I would consider them a little bit a step above, just for the simple fact that they've had more specialized training, which puts them in that kind of position. But regardless, I still think that we should have the same mentality as the Marine Corps and make sure that every soldier and every Marine is a rifleman. And
I was curious, so I just did a search on her or whatever. Her name was Jessica Lynch, for those that don't remember.
Yeah, I remember Jessica Lynch.
Okay, and
she was kind of hot, if I remember, but hey, I'm old and I'm creepy, whatever.
Here's the thing, though.
Jesus, how many years ago was that? 20?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna Google
it. Was it 2003, somewhere around there? Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, almost 20 years ago.
If you Google her,
thanks for telling me, asshole. I was out there in 2003. You know how sad it is when I watch the History Channel and I see the shit I did. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
So you're telling me I made you feel old?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you are old.
Mario, I can agree with you on let me say this. I'll agree with you on the Marines aspect of every Marine is a rifleman. And I swear to God, every branch of the military should have that ingrained in their brain. I don't care what your profession is in the military. You should be a rifleman and know how to use it. And I just think that shooting skills should be trained more for everyone in the military. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, one thing I do like about the Marine Corps that I'm starting to see kind of changes within the Army, but unfortunately it's only happening in the combat units, is that they're getting more rifle training. Like for the Marines, I think they do like a 3-week fucking rifle qualification. It's like I think it's like they basically go from the crawl, walk, run phase, right? And they basically teach them everything about a rifle, and they're by the time they're last week, they're qualifying, and they usually don't have any problems with people qualifying because it ingrained that shit in them, to the point where they are very familiar with the rifle. And the reason why I can tell you guys this is because I have two of my cousins who are Marines. And one of them was actually a DI or a drill instructor, and he invited me over to Camp Pendleton, where they actually do that 2-week phase, and I got to see a lot of things that I never got. I was only there for 3 days, but it was really good to look at the perspective of a different branch of service and how they do things. You always learn something from somebody.
So real quick, I wanted to go over real quick because I Googled her and everything and searched it out. But I just thought this was kind of interesting.
You Googled
related searches to Jessica Lynch. Pat Tillman, Bo Burdahl, Chelsea Manning, and Larry Flint. What the fuck?
What the
Yeah,
fuck? What kind of surgery are you looking at, bro?
Mario, you said that you went to observe. Did you go in uniform? Were you active military?
I was in uniform.
That's cool. That's cool.
You can have guests in when they actually have their drill when they're actually having their training. You just there as an observer. Most of the time, I was just chilling with me and some lieutenant that was following me, and so basically he was like my shadow, and he was just kind of like I wouldn't get in the way of the drill instructors. I just basically watched their training and how they trained them. I really wanted to get a perspective of things, and it was really good. And actually, it helped me quite a bit because excuse me, that 2003 deployment, we ended up going from a small little FOB or forward observation base to a bigger fucking base, right? So the guys that took over for us were the 24 MU, which is the Marine Expeditionary Unit, and it was the 24th MU, and they came over and we started doing a right seat, left seat, which is basically we just training them on the areas of operations, what to look out for, blah blah blah, all this other crap. And
so where was that at? Where was that at, Mario?
That was in Iraq.
Okay.
That was in Iraq, and it was the forward observation base. It was called Cal Su. It was named after a lieutenant in Vietnam, and this was in central Iraq. So they took over for us, right? And basically, when we're doing the left seat, right seat, I had a squad of Marines with me, and so it played dividends because I still remember a lot of their hand signals. So when we started doing our raids and shit like that, it was really cool. I mean, it was real easy where I really didn't have to make a lot of commands. A lot of them already knew where they needed to be at. And that's one thing that I really like about the Army infantry and the Marine Corps infantry is that they're very similar in doctrine. So we can, if you ever look at it historically, you see either the Army or the Marines take either the left or the right limits, right? And they meet up in the middle. There's a reason why that is, and it's just because of our tactics and the way we do things that we're able to become a cohesive unit. It's like the same shit that happened when we went to Fallujah, and we took the east side of Fallujah, and the Marines took the west side of it, and it got pretty fucking hairy there too. That was good shit. It was good times right there.
Hey, Mikey, can I ask something real fast?
Go ahead, Jason.
I jump something real quick. Okay, so Mario, you're wearing a particular shirt. You mind showing that shirt? Turn your mic off, fucker. Turn your mic on. Hey, turn your mic on, dipshit.
Okay, I'm putting my mic on. This is I'm showing Mr. Holster with Jack.
All right,
I don't have that shirt, but I have the support Mr. Holster, and you and me, Jason, wore it in a video that was supposed to be great, blowing up shit, and it wasn't. Bugs ate us up and fucking weeds.
So the reason
you remember the binary? Yeah.
The reason I asked him to show that is if you're out there and you're watching, and I want everyone here in this chat as well. Matt, I don't think I have your info, but I have an extra shirt that I picked up, and I'm having as many YouTubers sign the shirt as possible. And I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to hand deliver it to Mrs. Holster.
I'll sign it, dude. I'm tiny, but I'll sign it. Yep.
So
Derek will sign it.
I want to try and get as many of you guys as possible to sign the shirt. I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to drive it up there to Mrs. Holster next year. I I wish I could do it this year, but with life and all the BS going on, I can't do it this year. So it'll be the beginning of next year. But it gives me plenty of time to get a lot of more signatures on there. So Matt, I'd love to get yours on there. Mikey, I'd love to get you on there. Mary, obviously you, Ohio, AA. And if you guys are up the side chat and you make videos and you want to jump in and sign it, let me know. The more the better.
Yeah, I wear
No problem.
I wear both of these shirts.
Let me see.
I was just gonna say, yeah, dude. For one, Mr. Scotsman, we need to get to the range in Ohio. You know, we're all like within this. I guess we're planning range this weekend. Not sure tomorrow. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We can coordinate. But dude, I want to sign that shirt, and I donated to Mr. Holster. I don't know how many times when he was still alive. You know what I mean? And then I donated after he wasn't. And Mr. Holster was great. It just his way of going about things and the way he did things, and I loved him. I loved his channel. The sad thing is I never got to meet him in person, and that's sad.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a good personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell you from talking to him on the phone and some of his, I hate saying last words, but essentially kind of his last words, because it wasn't too much longer after he talked to me that he ended up passing. He was 100% dedicated to nothing more than making sure his wife was okay. And that's
He was a good
right
brother.
now.
Scott was a good brother.
Right now, that's my mission, to make sure she's okay. Take care of her as much as possible. You guys already did a phenomenal job with the fundraiser we did and stuff like that. And now I'm trying to do a quick little shirt item to put a smile on her face, give her a
Real quick,
reminder
I
of
just
all
want
the
to
people that are
let you
here.
know. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to drop out for a bit and just I think, is John Solar out there, Mikey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let John take my place, and I'm going to get some work done here for a minute. So
All right.
I'll still be on the outside. I'll be on the outside chat.
Well, all right, bro. Thank you.
Peace. Call me anytime.
And Johnny's gone.
There he is.
No, I'm not.
There he
There
is.
he is.
Yeah, I got to send to you too, fucker.
Quack, quack, quack.
Hey, listen, this ain't the old. Listen to me. This ain't the old Saturday night chat like from 10 years ago. We don't vent here. But go ahead.
Quack, quack.
Yeah, I gotta get you. I gotta get Eric and all the rest of them.
There's a bunch.
It's a bitch.
You know, you could probably we could
So-
probably just save him some time, Johnny, and then if he sends it to you, I can just drive up to your place.
Yeah.
And
Well, see, the problem was all right. So the last person that had it,
I'll be right back.
they tried to send it to someone else, and the post office screwed up not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but fucking 5 times, and still couldn't fucking deliver it.
Damn.
So
If you get it to me, Mikey can get to me.
it ended up being shipped back to me to send out. So I'm gonna send it to that person first.
Now, what's his name up north from me too? There's a guy in here who's also got a channel that's like, I don't know, 45 minutes north of me here. And Mikey's like an hour and 45 minutes south of me. So
basically what it is, man, I'm gonna take it with me tomorrow. Daniel's gonna sign it. Then I'm gonna send it out to Lion Quest Fitness. Lion Quest Fitness will sign it. And then I'll give him an address to send it to, whether it be you, Matt, or whoever wants it first. I'll send it that way, and then you guys help me out by sending it to the next person, and so on and so forth. until it
Just
comes
tell
back to me.
when it gets, just so that person knows, here's where you're supposed to send it, so we can contact them. Give me the damn correct address, so I don't have a mistake.
Yep.
And don't be
Hey,
cheap. Send it out in that $7 2-day express box. Don't be cheap. That way you know it gets there.
Scotsman, you going to see Daniel tomorrow? What's your
Yeah.
schedule? Well,
I'll be there. I'll be there bright and early tomorrow, man.
yeah, I don't have his address, but I know he's like down near Ashland. Derek was talking about shooting Sunday. I don't know, but you and me and Daniel got to get together, and yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, this whole T-shirt thing, and what do I have to donate any money? And I will, but the coolest thing is people.
All I need is signatures. That's it, man.
I'll sign that shirt.
If you want to help,
send her some money.
If you want to help with getting a badass frame for it, by all means do so. But I'm not asking anyone for that.
Oh, I'll help. That you know me. Mr. Holster was the shit. I you know something. I got into YouTube late and blah blah blah. And Mr. Holster was one of them guys that he came across. Hey, Pards, and he's like, it was almost kind of a parody, but he was so honest and truthful. You know what I mean? It's like I loved his content, and I miss him so much. I miss his content.
Yep, I hear you, man.
You know, sometimes I feel like I'm watching John Wayne movies. I'm like, okay, but I love Mr. Holster, man. He was cool cat. You know, it's kind of cool because every time I put this shirt on, for some reason I get a comment from his wife saying, "Oh, thank you so much for wearing it." I'm like, I'm just wearing it, man. You know, I just got to remember.
I'll tell you right now, man. Mrs. Holster is beyond appreciative of everybody in this community for everything that everyone has done. To say appreciate, it's an understatement. It really is. I wish I could express what she feels, but I can't. There's just no way. I talk to her pretty regularly. It's been kind of sparse the last month and a half or so, just with all the BS going on. We talked again the other day, and she's doing okay. She's hanging in there. She's dealing with a lot of stuff with the property. She's dealing with a lot of stuff with the horses and stuff like that. She finally was able to sell the last horse that was left, so she doesn't have to worry about that anymore. But she still has a lot of other things on the property itself to worry about. But she's doing okay. And one of the biggest things that she's worried about is all the stuff. And she would talk to a few different places about trying to sell it and so on and so forth. And they're trying to tell her that's what's worth this much, so on and so forth. And we can do this, blah, blah, blah. And I told her to hold off because I planned on going up there anyway to appraise all these guns, to appraise all the stuff that was sitting up there, to help her out that way. I'm going to go help her box all the other stuff up, and we're going to figure out the best way to sell it. You know, I hate to say that, you know, we're getting rid of his stuff, but unfortunately there's so much stuff.
You know, I have an idea, and I don't know if this sounds like a good idea, but why not create an auction with all the guys and see who wants to bid in on his guns? Man, I don't know. Is that even a cool thing or no?
Matt, what's your idea?
It's not legal.
Not legal?
No, so I would
No.
say I would say this, man. If someone was interested in one of the guns, they need to reach out to me. I'd say that's the best way.
Can I make one suggestion though? I want to make one suggestion.
You were saying
A&A had an idea. He had an idea.
Hang on 1 second. Go ahead, John.
Okay, go ahead.
Armament had an idea.
ahead.
If you take the guns out, so take the guns out of the equation, all right. But some of those Mr. Holster novelties, not firearms, novelties.
All of them.
People
So
saw, if you had an auction for some of that stuff, like things like I saw things in Mr. Holster's videos. In other words,
If he had a knife, if he had
yeah,
if he had a bayonet, a bayonet, or something,
Here was
whatever.
here was my idea, John, and tell me what you think, and Mikey, tell me what you think. I thought about setting up an eBay account and throwing it up that way and auctioning it off on eBay. Hey, here's Mr. Holster's hat from this. Here's Mr. Holster's knife from this.
Yeah.
Here's this from that.
Do a video so that everybody in the gun community knows it's going up. You guys all know. Here's where you're going to go find it at. It's going up. That way, if someone wanted something, they can go. But also, it's still available for the general public to grab as well.
Yeah.
So,
but as far as the gun stuff, if anyone out there is interested in a firearm from Mr. Holster, just contact me personally, and we can talk. We can figure it out from there. But as far as an auction, no, we're not doing an auction on that stuff. That's not a legal process whatsoever. I mean, there's ways to do it. We could do gun broker, all of that, but it's a pain in the rear end. To get the max out of the firearms, I'd rather just went straight through me. I can talk to Mrs. Holster. We can make the arrangements and get all that set up. It'd be a lot easier that way. I can get your FFL. I can get the gun sent to you. Done. It's simple.
I was just going to say, you know, I don't know what he had, Mr. Holster had, gun wise, and does Mrs. Holster needs at least 2 guns, a sidearm and a main battle rifle. That's just, you know, that's us thinking as pistol, main rifle. Okay, maybe a shotgun on this. Okay, what does she need after that? I don't know what Scott acquired over the years. I really don't. But if we could figure out a way to auction off the guns that Mrs. Holster doesn't need to survive, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I already have a list.
Can we make her money? Can we make her
I have a
money?
list of them. I looked at them. I talked to her earlier in the year and got a list of them earlier in the year and went through them all and appraised them all. I just got to see them in person to verify condition and so on and so forth to make sure the prices are accurate. I can't throw a price out there without seeing it in person and making sure it's accurate. I just can't.
Well, that's the common sense way to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't look at a picture and go, oh, hey, yeah, I get it.
All I've got right now is a description, so I can't throw a price out off a description. I got to see the gun in person.
Right. My point was,
I gave her a base value for right now and kind of went from there. But when I get up there, we'll be able to go through and sort through. And there's more there than what she sent me on the list. She sent me what his sister put down on the list. That's it. I know there's more up there.
I was just going to say, I bet you there's more guns there than, Mr. Holster said he had.
And between that and all the horse stuff and all the rest of it, there's a lot of money sitting there, man.
The tack room has a lot of expensive tack.
Yeah,
and she had 2 different companies come in, auction places come in, and they told her everything, 10 grand.
Oh, they're just ripping her off.
I told her
that's horseshit.
When she sent me that email, I didn't even hesitate. I said,
that's horseshit.
No, don't do it. Don't.
Yeah, no. What? Look, the bitch of it is Mr. Holster probably had 3 to 5 guns, just the average 3 to 5 guns that were worth 10 grand. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my God, somebody come in and go, oh, we'll just give you 10 grand for this.
No, out of the firearms, the firearms portion, they weren't worth a ton. But there was a lot more stuff that he had that was worth some good money. He's got a lot of equestrian stuff, and some other stuff that's worth a lot of money.
The saddles alone will.
Yeah.
I don't know how many horses he had, but I don't know how many horses he had, but
he had like 4 or 5.
all right, saddles alone, dude, is
Yeah. And these guys come in and like, oh, you got 10 grand with everything. I'm like, no, stop, don't do it, don't do it.
You figure. Now, not even a good saddle, a run of the mill saddle, $2,200 to $3,000.
Yeah.
If he has five horses, there's no man who owns 5 horses who only has 5 saddles.
Yeah.
He always has an extra saddle or 2 saddles. So he's got 5 to 7 saddles there at $2.5 grand a piece. You already blew it out, and you've only got the saddles done. Then he's got all of his bridle stuff, and he's going to have run of the mill working bridles as well as some of his dress stuff, because Mr. Holster was that kind of guy.
Yep.
He's going to be able to have dress stuff as well. And then he's got the walls are covered in stuff. And a lot of that stuff is very, very special. A lot of that stuff is, so yeah, 10 grand would have just covered the saddles and that would have been it.
Yeah.
Everything
else, the biggest thing, honestly, right now is just trying to help her out and get this stuff taken care of, man. She's got more and she knows what to deal with. So
and she's been used to going to Scott. When there's a decision to be made, the 2 of them make the decision together. That doesn't happen now.
Nope.
And that's an awful lot to go.
Unfortunately, I wish she could say she had her family there, but her family pretty much went there when it happened and bailed after that.
Yeah,
I can say. I was just going to say. I was going to say this, that I grew up in a family that my brothers and sisters had horses, and they bought saddles. And back in the day, a saddle cost $200. That was in the early 90s or early 80s. Excuse me. Like early 81. That saddle cost $1,000. I'm like, wow, that's just ridiculous. And then you look and go, what goes into making the saddle? And how much does that saddle cost today? Oh, let me get to the inflation calculator. Oh my God. And I'm just saying that, all the tack that Mr. Holster had, and, guns that Mrs. Holster, she needs 3 guns. Mrs. Holster needs 3 guns to defend. But all the rest, will you put her down for selling it to survive? Hell no. And if I can help promote that, I will do it.
Yeah, and we'll get there. It's gonna take a little bit of time because, like I said, I'm not gonna get there until next year. But the biggest thing is getting as many people to sign the shirt as possible. That's where I'm at right now. I want as many of you guys to sign the shirt as possible, just to make it as cool as possible.
I'm in for signing it. Yep, I'll sign it. Hell yes.
You just send it to Maine, and I'll sign it in Maine.
All right.
Mikey, who's the gentleman that's 45 minutes up from me?
45 minutes up from you.
Yeah, up north. Got a YouTube channel. Pops on and off. He's on yours sometimes. Sometimes he's over on Stevie's. He's
not Gerald B.
Yeah, that's it, Gerald B.
Yeah, he's more than 45 minutes up from you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Yep.
I mean, yeah, he could swing by too and sign it.
Yeah, well, we can do it all. I mean, that'll get done for her. That's not an issue. I mean, that's small potatoes to do for her, and that'll make her, that'll turn into something huge for her.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Well, yeah, and it's gotta be wild for her when you stop and think about it. There's all these freaking people on YouTube. So you met them all on YouTube, and they become family on YouTube. And
no gig. Yep. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Johnny.
No, go ahead. No, it's just
I was just going to answer gear. No gear. Working class wasn't in New Hampshire, not Maine.
I was just
Jay Watt, you're a fucker.
I was just going to say that interesting thing is there's 1, 2. He's masked, but how he's still here. But I've not yet met a lot of you guys in person. Jason, met him. First time was, and I met him when he was still working at his gun store. And he's like, "Who are you?" And I went, "I'm Armor and Axis." And he just shook my hand, give me a big hug, and from then it was like, yeah,
Sorry, Scotsman.
But screw you, Mikey.
I mean, I'm armed, and he walks in, dude. It's like, all right, do I need to shoot this fucker?
Anyway, yeah, we've shot since then, and it's strange that there's a lot of us out there that we're on the same page. We're on the same path, that we all need to be able to keep connected. And even if we never meet in person, doing this connected thing on this, we gotta stay connected. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
I hear what you're saying. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He bet his dad he would catch a 3-pounder bigger trout. Dad was the first one.
Howdy, Paws, Mr. Holster here. And boy, do I have a Danny show for you. I miss that guy.
Yeah. And now is that
too.
And Jack just followed him right along too.
Jack's in Vegas, man.
Jack's in the back, like, what the
Vegas.
fuck am I doing here, man? Why am I sitting in shit right here?
No, Jack's driving the Corvette, man. He's going to Vegas. Jack's driving the Corvette. He's going to Vegas. He's going to gamble. Yeah. I miss Mr. Holster.
I think the first person
God rest his soul.
I think the first person that I was I started following, not the very first person, but one of the people I started following when I first came to YouTube. The One-Eyed Patriot.
One-Eyed, oh yeah, I remember One-Eyed.
He wound up coming to Boston for an operation, and I did not know that until afterwards.
Boston.
Oh wow.
Boston.
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah, listen to me. Don't make me kick you out of the chat because I'm not in a bad mood. What'd you say?
Southerners.
Yeah, the Southerners. Mario. These people don't understand, right? When Mikey says, I don't want to be picked on because I live in it's Boston, by the way. We don't say Boston. Nobody says Boston. Only who says
Chris to shut the fuck up.
People trying to impersonate someone from Boston says Boston. And don't say the Park the Common Habitat because that's as old as fucking the fucking Cairo's
you want the fucking key, bro? What you saying?
What cracks me up is if you want to get him, just call him a masshole. That's it.
Yeah, but I am a masshole.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You want to get
We're all
him?
assholes.
You know,
they're all assholes in their own right.
He's a masshole.
It just depends how we all do it.
There's only a couple things I wanna fucking actually see in Boston. One is the USS Constitution.
Great thing.
Two, Fenway Park.
That's a great place.
Yeah. And three is Boston College. There's only 3 places I want to go.
But do yourself a favor. In between, go to the graveyard where they're all buried. Paul Revere's buried there right over next to, not next to it, but it's probably a quarter mile down the street from Boston Common.
Okay.
It's a little tiny fucking cemetery. They're all buried in that one cemetery.
Do yourself a favor. Don't drive.
Yeah, don't drive.
Don't drive.
Yeah.
You'll end up like me. Yeah. Make a left.
Yeah.
They're all fucking one-way lefts. When I literally got out of the car and started.
So it's like fucking NASCAR over there.
What it is that it's not gridded like New York City or other cities around, right? So if you you take the wrong right-hand turn, right? So instead of being able, like, to be a grid and get back to where you were, to go right, to get back where you were, you can't do that in Boston. You do that in Boston, you take a wrong turn in Boston, dependent upon where you are in Boston. If you do that, that's a good fucking 45-minute swing.
I heard my favorite was driving on the highway. Even the highway as you approach Boston gets fucked up because you're driving along and you're like, oh, you see I want to go over there. How do I get there? You drive down the road, go past it a fucking mile and a half, then get off, go across the over ramp, then turn around and go back the fucking way you came.
Except now's the time to come because there's no traffic.
The Southerners.
So no, you're not Southern. You're Western. I think Matt's the only Southern around here. Now he's Southwestern, but he's still,
Yeah.
No,
he used to be one of you Ohioans too, right? Right, Matt? When I first met you, Matt, I think you were still in Ohio, correct?
Dude, when you first met me, I was the only Ohioan. Like, there was nobody around.
No, that's all you get. Ohio and Michiganders.
It was me and VSO Gun Channel.
Holy shit, I remember that one.
The only two guys in Ohio. And then I move here, and people from Ohio come out of the fucking woodwork. And now everybody in Ohio is out shooting with each other. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember feeling alone.
I don't class myself as Ohio. I class myself as Georgia. Fuck Ohio.
You identify as a peach.
Oh, I just like the peaches. I don't identify as a peach. I just like the peaches.
I mean, it's like we only have. I mean, I'm obviously I'm quite sure that there's tons of people from Massachusetts on YouTube, but in the circles that I follow on YouTube, there's 3 of us.
There's not. I don't remember a lot. I know for a while there were.
That I know of. I mean, if people are sharing what, you know what I'm saying. So there's Phil. I mentioned Phil earlier tonight, right? Him and I worked with each other for 13 years. He's a friend of mine. And then
Guns and Gadgets.
Guns and Gadgets and Craig Dweller are the only guys that through what YouTube that I watch. I mean, that's hunting, that's ice fishing, that's everything.
Yeah, there's a bunch in New Hampshire. I think 5 or 6 different channels in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
New Hampshire Prepper was there. I know there's a few other ones that were there.
But there's got to be millions from fucking Michigan. Every time you turn
everything
on, there's somebody there from Michigan.
Oh, there's always someone in fucking Michigan.
Oh my God.
Maine, we probably have. We have a couple of little. Maine is not many YouTube channels at all.
New England Fish is out of Maine, though. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Now, the biggest one I remember was, what's his name there? The gun guy. I forget it. He does tries to do a lot of automatic stuff. And then we had another big channel called Maine Prepper, but I think he passed. I think Maine Prepper.
Maine Prepper. I remember that channel. Yep.
Yeah. The military guy who he got messed up bad. But,
see, P2E knows in Maine Prepper.
Who?
P2E.
Yeah, P2E. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows the Maine Prepper.
I don't know if he may not be passed. I think he passed. I think he did. And then you got me. You got the big shootist. He doesn't like to talk to anybody. I don't know. He's up here in. I think he's in Bangor or right around Bangor. There's not too many channels here. We got Maine Macabre just drives around and checks out all the spooky stuff.
There are too many. I mean, you got about as much people that live in your state as
in Boston.
Yeah.
That's about the population of the whole state.
Maybe some Matt. What's your highest population city you got out there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, we have Phoenix. It's the 4th largest city in this country.
There you go. So it's Phoenix because, I mean, what's Maine has 1.3 million people that live in it, and
the whole state.
And three-quarters of those people live Portland or south.
Yeah.
Tucson, where I live,
yeah,
to the greater Tucson area is just over 1 million, and it's tiny compared to Phoenix. Phoenix has like 5 million people.
Wow.
So now you've now filled my state up. 6 times.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But now we have the land. We have freaking tons of land and trees, but there's no one's living in it. It's just along the coast.
Well, Arizona's no different. We're just a bigger, hotter piece of land. We have
Right.
a lot of land.
A lot of land.
With not a lot of people inhabiting all that land. Like
It's hot as fuck. That's why. I don't know the fuck wants to live in Arizona.
it takes from the border to Flagstaff. From the border to Flagstaff is probably 7 hours. That's south to north.
Yeah, see, Maine's different.
That's the Maine New Hampshire border down in Portsmouth. I mean, down in, you know what I mean, right? The 95 bridge up to Fort Kent. That's got to be a 7-hour fucking ride.
Right, but I mean, but see, for up here though, it changes. Up here it depends on where you're going, because you can have half that trip, but be going in a different direction and take 4 times as long. You get into you get into logging roads and shit like that, where you're like, I'm only going 200 miles. You're like,
if you get off 95, you're fucked.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Literally, I'll see you tomorrow.
Exactly. If you get off 95, you're absolutely screwed.
We have one highway. One.
It takes me 4 hours to go to hunting camp.
Like you guys.
It takes me 4 hours to go to hunting camp. Okay, it's 202 miles. All right, it takes me 4 hours. All right, takes me 3 hours and 10 minutes to go to Bangor, and it's 221.
Hey, by the way, Mario, it was 105 today.
Keep it. I like snow. You should come to Massachusetts, man, really. Seriously.
What I would love is I would be in heaven.
Go to New Hampshire, actually.
All the solar stuff, because you guys have sun all the time. You just would have a blast with all the solar and all that.
Well, they're creating a lot of solar farms, is what they're doing here.
Yeah, but they do it here, but they don't get rain in Arizona.
Yeah, what used to be fucking farmland, they're converting it to fucking. You see fucking miles and miles of fucking solar panel.
Yep.
So, it was like 54 here today. You can keep your 105.
I think it's supposed to get down to 80.
Wow.
It's 46.
What's the power? What's the power? Your power bills have got to be like insane.
But you know what?
No, I save. One of the biggest things about moving from Northwest Ohio to Southern Arizona is I save about $500 a month in utilities.
Really?
Now, for me in Maine, I had to work because we were at $300, and that was like nothing's turned on, and we were at $300. I literally put my water heater on timers so that it's on at certain times and off. People don't realize that all the different power they lose, and they just waste. My freezers are set to be on for 2 hours, off for 3, because if you lose power, if you use common sense, you realize you lose power in your house, how long for the freezer's destroyed? It's a lot longer than 3 hours. So I have it on for 2, off for 3. And I mean, I got the power in the house that was 300 regularly down to 139 a month, and I can't get a penny lower than that. And that's with everything. I run right now. I have 4 light bulbs on in here.
Serious?
And those are total altogether 16 watts.
3. Wait a minute. I still don't understand something, because I have 1, 2, 3. I got 3 kids. I got one that's home all the time, and he's always on the fucking, what do you call it, right? Yeah. The fucking video thing, right? I got girls that don't unplug shit. I don't unplug. My laptop's plugged in 24/7, 7 days. I mean, it's just.
But your laptop doesn't use any power.
No, but I'm saying, but everything, everything, right? And I think I might pay $250 a month.
Well, that's still for me. That's.
I'm a family of 5.
Right, but that's an awful lot. $250 a month. When you stop,
not for a family of 5, it ain't. I don't think.
Well, when you stop and think about it, what your oven's only on when you're using it, That's it. So you're not it's not stuck on the power there. Televisions don't have TVs like we used to have. They're not the big tubes, so they don't use hardly any power. The laptops and the phones don't use any power. All right, what's using up all this power that you're using? I found out the biggest thing I found out was someone said, "Listen, when do you take a shower?" I said, "Take a shower in the morning, and unless I've done anything at night, then I'll take one at night as well." He's like, "Here's where your power is going out." He goes, "It's in the water heater. It turns on and off all day long. You're when you leave your house and everyone's gone at school and the wife's at work and you're at work, your water heater's on, and it's running all the freaking time. And if you have a timer, so everyone leaves the house in the morning and it shuts off, and when everyone gets back home after the day's done, it turns on. You saved hours and hours." Now remember, those are elements that are like having your stove on, literally like having your stove on that entire time. It's like it's thousands of kilowatts. I mean, you're like, what the frick? Yeah, I was just shocked because I mean, my bill half by putting that on there. I couldn't believe how much power I was wasting just in a freaking water heater being on when you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, HRM says 300 average.
They save $500 a month. Oof. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, P2E, it is a very high wattage draw. Very, very high wattage.
Yeah, I got washer and dryer going too. So.
Yeah, but you don't have them on all day though. That's the kid.
On the weekends.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like my little kid brother comes here, and I can always tell when he comes here, he's going to bring every freaking.
See, now the beauty where Matt lives is that he can do his fucking laundry. You don't even need a fucking dryer because it's 190 degrees outside. The thing will be dry in fucking 10 minutes.
That's facts.
Yep.
And it's not even humid, right? You don't get humidity, right? It's all dry.
That's where I save my money at, is because, like, when I lived in Ohio, my electric bill on budget was it was just a little over, but let's call it $300 a month. That was my budget electric bill. My budget gas bill was about the same because of 5 months of snow. You know, with the winter. Here, I haven't had a gas bill over $50, and my highest electric bill has been $220, and that's with my thermostat set on 74 because we're not battling humidity here. Yeah, we're battling 115-degree heat, but that humidity just zaps the coolness out of the air.
Right.
And so, like when I lived in Ohio, my AC was regularly set on 68, 66, things like that, just to keep my house cool. Here,
I can give you a prime example. The humidity here is so bad. I have two dehumidifiers in my safe, and I literally have to pull them out about every 3 days and plug them back in to heat them up, get them all back to normal, and put them back in every 3 days.
I got a dehumidifier downstairs next door to me over here. All right, I got to empty that fucking thing every day when I come home from work.
When it's what they call monsoon season here. So so that's where the
monsoon season in the desert.
That's where my bills are so much cheaper. It is way cheaper to live here. Everything else costs about the same. Housing, rent, cost of houses, all that pretty much costs the same.
Yep.
Solar is really easy.
Property taxes are a lot cheaper in Arizona.
What about wage though, Matt? Are the wages the same across?
Depends on what your profession is.
Okay.
For somebody that's a welder, somebody who works in the steel industry, it basically, if any illegal can jump the border and do your job, you're not going to get paid shit for it.
All right. So take, for example, me right now, currently, I'm a gun guy, but currently I'm in steel. If I was to jump my ass over there right now and steal,
you're going to lose $5 an hour.
All right.
Stay in Ohio.
I
only drive a truck, so I'm screwed.
Beginning wages for a welder where I'm from in Ohio was anywhere from $16 to $18 an hour. There's places here that want you to pass and have certifications for 13.
Wait. Back up. Can you do me a
I
favor?
make more than that just playing with robots all night.
But so a welder in Arizona makes $13 an hour.
No, I make 20. But what I'm saying is, as starting wage, depending on, like, if you just passed school, right?
Yep.
You just got maybe your 1G cert or something like that, something
Right.
really easy to get.
Something simple. Yep.
Yeah. You apply at a place in Ohio, you're probably going to get in the high teens starting out. Here, you're going to get in the low teens starting out.
Wow.
I make $20 an hour, and I've been doing it for 25 years.
You serious?
Yeah.
I know that I live in a communist state, especially when it comes to guns. Okay. But I got a witness down below me right here. All right. So a guy with your trade and even the steel trade, I don't know how much is the steel. Well, no, but no, that's not the steel. But anyway,
I can tell you right
with the
now.
welding trade. I'll stick with the welding trade and the construction trade itself. Okay. No, I'm not. This is zero exaggeration whatsoever. A guy with your experience here in Massachusetts, and I'm not talking union job or anything like that. Just your experience, your licensing and all that, right? You are looking nothing under $30 an hour.
And
Nothing. And that's
it's higher than that where I'm at.
Well, I think
In a portion of Maine where I'm at, it's higher because
you got the ironworks.
Yeah, Bath Ironworks, the shipbuilder
Yeah.
for that does the shipbuilding for the federal government, is here in Maine.
Good point by you. That's amazing. Because I thought all the trades were pretty much the same.
Well, see, like I said, okay. So when you get to specialized welding, right?
Yep.
Across the country, you start seeing more of a leveling out of pay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just doing basic structural steel, right? Anybody, I'm just going to say, I understand this is probably not an accurate statement, but pretty much anybody can do it. If you got 5 minutes of training, you're well on your way to becoming a structural steel welder.
Mm-hmm.
And you go into any fab shop, any steel shop in Tucson.
Yep.
And there's like 2-3 guys speak English in there.
So what you're saying is Mario would fit in.
What I'm saying is that when people say that the illegals come over here and take our jobs, that's a fact.
They're not lying.
Mario, I saw that look you gave me.
Do you know what the translation of that was?
Bitch, I'm illegal. I don't hear that bullshit.
You got your card with you over there? But and you're right. Matt, you bring up a great point because people don't understand. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only time I saw it, right, is when I was in Florida. Is the only time I saw it. Because I've never been to the Southwest, so I never been to Texas, I never been to Arizona, I never been New Mexico. I never been out that way before. All right, so and the only furthest like Northwest I've ever been is Minnesota and Ohio. The only other 2 states I've been in, that far out, anyways, But when I was down in Florida been down in Florida, I don't know, 5-6 times, what the hell it's been. But that's when I noticed it the most. And I was totally shocked. Not shocked that like I didn't believe people when they said that, but just like
it can get pretty.
Holy shit! They're not even like exaggerating. They're not even like hustling around. This is fucking straight up the way it is.
No, it can get pretty high up here. I can tell you some of the guys that I work with, for example, they make almost $10 more an hour than I do. Granted, they can weld and I can't. Just never something I've done, but they're about $10 on average more I deal with robots. I deal with parts. I deal with machines. It's my job to fix the machine. If I can't fix it, that's when I call maintenance. But I have to try and fix it first. We're expected to try and fix it prior to calling maintenance.
Right.
So we're our own mechanics essentially at the same point, and we get paid less than a lot of these people that do less than we do.
What is?
So I got a question. We're talking about the difference in wages of pay.
Yes.
Now, a machine operator like what you're doing, Scotsman, versus certified welder, that's going to be two different pay scales.
Sure.
But I can say, what did you say you were making, or did you not?
I didn't. So I'm roughly say about 17 an hour, roughly.
Okay. So I'm going to take people that I know. I never did that. I never was like a machine operator. I'm going to simplify it. So no offense to like a factory machine worker.
Manufacturer. Yep.
So that's all I have to compare it to. People that I knew back in Ohio, they were probably making about the same, 16 to 18, depending on how long they worked at that factory, running equipment, running machines that were producing something. Now, Mike, you were talking about welders where you're at as far as how much money they make, but how much is, say, the rent on a ranch house?
Money.
Well, see, so I have to answer that twice, and I'm not even being funny, Matt. So if you're looking at the map of Massachusetts, okay, and you split it right in half, okay, everything on the left, you can still get that wage, okay, but you won't pay as much you're going to pay property tax the same way, but you won't pay as much. The people on the right, we get screwed more for rents and stuff, okay. Property and home sales are way more in the east than it is in the far west on the New York and Vermont borders. So I'm going to use my town. I live in a town. They call it a town. I live in a town. It's got probably 34,000 people in it. Okay. Median home sale price, I believe, is still around 400,000. Yeah, about 390-ish, 400,000.
I bought this house in December. It's a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
2 full bath, a 2-car carport with a backyard, a big U-shaped driveway, all tile floor, freshly updated, brand new appliances for 190.
I bought this 4-bedroom house, 2 bathroom, 4 bedroom, 2 living room, 2 20 by 40 basements, a garage. I have 1 acre out back and just a normal front yard and a full side yard on a brook. This whole entire thing, 100,000.
See the difference, John? How long ago?
I bought 1999.
Okay, so what's
now here's the difference. So here's the reality, right? You bring either one, Matt. I'll tell you what. And do you have any property like acreage or anything like that, Matt? Or
no?
Okay, that's fine too. It doesn't really matter. Your house here, where I live, up over 400,000 easy.
So you get twice the pay, but it's also twice the cost of living.
That's
right. Well,
it's
you
like,
remember that?
It's like New York. You might get $27 an hour, but you're going to.
I want to give you the exact. I'm going to give you the exact number in a minute.
Well, do you remember that night,
Mike? Yourselves. What,
Mike? You remember that night we were talking about the housing market between where you live and where I live, and we were online and we were pulling like the houses, the exact same like Cape Cod house, like the little Cape Cod house, like 3-bedroom basement, all that.
Well, I didn't even get to the Cape.
Well, it was like 380,000 in your area, and the same exact house with more land in my area was like 89,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I was off a little bit. It is median listed home price in my town is 389.9, so 390.
Okay, that's median for your town.
Yep. So put it to you this way. Here's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,770 square foot home. How much? Let me see if there's any.
All right, so I just typed in, and this is from Zillow. Okay.
Yeah.
Median home value in Tucson, Arizona, of little over 1 million people is $224,000.
Yeah, I gotta live there. So you ready? 1 acre lot, Matt. A 1 acre lot. You ready? A 1 acre lot.
Yeah.
5 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. All right. I'm looking at the picture of the house right now. There is no garage, attached garage or anything like that. Okay. 3,770 square feet. How much?
529.
$675,000.
At least six. At least six.
I got one.
675.
I got one that I've been staring at for a while, and it's on Zillow here in Maine. It's a huge place. Now it's got 4-car garage, four separate doors, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,195 square feet. Up in Prescott, Mike, you know where that's at.
Yep.
And you're going to have another 3 acres with that. And I wish I could show you right now. It's mint condition. Interior, everything is absolute freaking mint. Tile, granite, everything. Gorgeous place. $239,000.
So you see,
about when I move out of here, because basically I bought this place, figure I'll live here for about 5 years and sell it. Make a little profit on it. But the way things are going and the way growth is going, I can put this place up for rent for about $1,300 a month, which is $400 more a month than what I'm paying for my mortgage.
See, that's odd because like I'm paying a little bit more than what you just said of 13. I'm paying like almost $1,600 a month. I have a 2-floor townhouse.
I'm technically not in Tucson city limits. If you were to move my house 6 blocks, I'm in Tucson, just the outskirts of it, city limits. But the sheriff's department comes to my house. I don't have Tucson water. But
right.
If you were to move my house 6 blocks south, you might as well add another $50,000 to it, if not more.
Now, what's the water situation for you guys? That's why I've never gone to Texas, because it's always been. I'm always I don't like to get into all that. I want to have my own well and stuff like that. I mean, you guys have a hard time with water, right?
The groundwater here is excellent. The groundwater here, there's a matter of fact, the Owl's Head Mountains, which I can almost see from my back door.
Wow.
In fact, you guys, if you've watched any of my videos, have likely seen them and not known what you're looking at. But the Owl's Head Mountains, right at the base of the Owl's Head, which is where I'm looking at land right now, has water 200 foot deep that is bigger than Lake Erie.
Oh, that's the aquifer. That's the aquifer.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah,
It's bigger than Lake Erie, and it is excellent water.
I thought it was a lot deeper than that. I thought it was like really, really, really down there, the main aquifer.
Hey, Matt. So the tax in my town is
God, I can only imagine.
You ready?
No.
$13.35.
See that? How is it that the place where taxation without representation and the revolution was born,
I know,
it's so bad now.
It's craziness. There's so much.
And that's kind of high because there are towns like again. So I'm in East. So again, if you look at the picture of the state of Massachusetts, right, and where there's like a V in the upper right hand corner, there's a V. I'm right below that little V. All right, you go out west, right. the house, like my boss, he's got a 3-bedroom ranch with 10 acres of land. All right, he sells that thing. He's only going to get about $250 for it, $260. If I have 10 acres out here where I am with a 3-bedroom ranch, I'm getting what that $675 is, and that's just it's because of the land. It's fucking phenomenal. It's mind-boggling. It really is.
To quickly finish answering the water question, though, the groundwater here is excellent. The city water here is some of the worst in the country. We get our water from the Colorado, and it's piped all the way down here. The Central Arizona project, part of one of the things John McCain helped push through. They stopped using groundwater here and started using cap water. The Central Arizona project, which pipes water from the Colorado River, just like everybody else does around here now, and it tastes like a bum's nutsack. I mean, this stuff is horrible.
Are you allowed to have your own well?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, is your area one of the areas that outlawed rain?
What?
Outlawed rain.
Collecting rainwater.
There's some areas that are in the arid areas.
Yes,
like Texas,
that's right.
Arizona.
You can't collect rainwater.
They made it a crime for literally a crime for
No,
people.
they suggest it here.
Okay,
Every year when it gets really, really dry, and then when the monsoons are getting ready to hit, every year the news puts out this is the best way to collect rainwater during this season that's coming up. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, they encourage it.
But by the way, the monsoons in fucking Arizona are no fucking joke. They're scary they're scary, man.
But isn't that like flat? So that water must go
right. So what happens?
That water must just go everywhere.
Right. So what happens is that majority of it is not absorbed, so it creates like a big old wave of fucking water coming at your ass. Because what happened is that I train a lot in Fort Irwin, and if you know where Fort Irwin is at, it's actually about an hour and a half from Vegas. So it's in the middle of the desert, right? So when they get the monsoon seasons over there, what happens is that the whole base is kind of set up in an angle. So all of a sudden, if it rains on the top portion of the base, you get all this torrential rain coming down at your ass, and it's literally like a wall of fucking water coming down on you. And it's gotten so bad that I've even seen fucking tanks actually get moved by this water. I mean, we're talking a lot of water, and so it's a very interesting sight, man. If you've never been in the desert, like RTT knows exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
There's a lot of people drowned out here in this desert.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to California, I was sitting there going, what in the world, Mikey? They have these giant, like, concrete, like, it looks like a river, but it's empty. Literally empty. And you're like, what is that? And they're like, oh, that's a water channel. You're like, for what? You actually will see them in movies where they'll kick open the gates.
Oh, they're skateboarding?
Yeah, they're going down in these giant, like, things. You go, it looks like an empty river, but it's made of concrete.
And that's for water?
It's to move that water they're talking about. It's like a flash flood. It's like it's dry. Then all of a sudden, there's more water than you fucking know what to do with it. It's all here right now. And those big channels carry it around places so it doesn't destroy stuff.
Yep.
But
like
literally,
don't they call that, like in California, that's the LA River or something?
I don't know. I just was amazed.
The LA River is in the middle of the fucking city.
But it's one of those concrete rivers, though, right?
Yeah, it's one of those concrete rivers, but it hasn't had any major rain like it used to, like back in the day. Like I remember, because I used to live in LA. I remember in the 80s, we used to get a lot of rain, and it would get to a point where like the middle of that canal was actually full all year. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great thing to see. You know, it was like you couldn't believe how much water there is, and it's like little stuff like that that people take for granted. Like I have a river that goes through my city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it's dry, you know, I mean, when we're not getting much rain, it's pretty much just a dry creek bed, you know. And then all of a sudden, when we got a lot of rain, it looks just beautiful because it pretty much covers the whole city, and we get, you know, plentiful water. So it's just an interesting thing. But monsoon season, that shit's scary, man. If you guys don't ever go during monsoon season to fucking Arizona or southern Nevada or southern fucking like California, like in the desert area, you'll fucking hate life. Guarantee you that.
You get the opportunity. You get the opportunity to look up pictures from like Arizona flash floods or people that have parked their vehicles in what's called a wash, which is basically a dry river.
Dry river,
yeah. In a wash, and you'll see pictures of all these cars floating down this fucking river, flipped over. They've been relocated several miles. Yeah.
And we have the opposite here. Here, come into the middle of winter starts to come to an end, right? And we have a river, big river, and all of a sudden you hear this like rumbling sound coming. All right, and it all lets go, and all that ice that's in the river starts coming at you. All right, it'll climb right over the banks, and it starts heading inland. We're talking ice chunks crawling up over the banks and headed right at you like a freaking bulldozer. It'll tear down houses, everything. We have the total opposite here. That's called the breakup.
My sister was out. My sister was out in Arizona. Sedona.
That's a little bit farther north, but yeah.
She absolutely loved it.
Sedona's beautiful.
That's what she said. She said
Sedona is beautiful, but it's fucking expensive.
It's a hippie place.
Oh, is it? But she said, well, she's a Democrat, so you know. But she absolutely loved it, you know. But she said it was beautiful. She said the people were excellent, you know. She said it, you know. She said she fell in love with the place.
Yep. You know? Sedona's really nice. It's more evenly tempered as far as temperature there, but it's expensive, like Mario said. It's a hippie place, so it's no wonder that she liked it.
Right.
You know, it's a artsy fartsy area.
Like in Oregon of fucking Arizona is what that is.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now, one thing that we have down here that a lot of other states don't have is that when you go hiking, and it's really an area that to drive it, like if you were to just drive a circle around this area, it'd probably take you 3 hours, right? Is dead people. So it's not uncommon that when we're out doing border stuff and common hikers and hunters to stumble across a dead illegal out in the desert or bones.
Really?
Yep. There's about 3,000 found. There's about 3,000 a year found right outside of Tucson. That. Yep.
That
never made it.
Tucson gets fucking hot, like gnarly hot. It gets 116, 120 sometimes.
It was 150. I think the highest it got this year was 117. It was, like I said, today it's October 2nd. It was 105.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay Watt. That's fucked up. See, now I don't care. I don't care if they call it dry heat, whatever. To me, it's still fucking hot.
What's hot? Don't get me wrong.
54 degrees here. And they were 100. They were 100 and what?
Well,
you're actually almost double my temperature.
It's 40. It's 45 degrees right now here.
Yeah. It's like it's
not right now.
Right now, I get that. Right, because it's cooler. You guys cool way down when the sun goes down, right?
It's 87 right now.
Oh, almost double.
Oh,
sorry.
It's 79 here, so it's actually cooled down quite a bit.
Yeah. But Matt never has to shovel snow.
Oh, I haven't mowed or shoveled snow since I moved. It's been awesome.
You know, it's funny because I'm at the news and I'm watching shit like, ooh, that feels cold. Let me get a blanket.
Get a blanket.
Like, fuck that shit.
So
go
when I
to
moved here,
Yakima firing range.
the first year I was here, so my last winter in Ohio, it got down to, we had like a few days, and Wolverine, you might remember this. Well, I mean, I'm sure if you thought hard enough, you would remember because you experienced it. You were there. Where it got down to about -40 with the wind chill for about a week and a half.
Yeah, back in like, what was that, like 2014 probably?
2014, yep.
Yeah.
2014 got down to -40. So fast forward 1 year later, I'm now living in Arizona and it's wintertime. And it's now 40 degrees, right? And so we got guys that I'm working with that have like 6 layers on and they're shivering. And apparently Ohio had made the news. So at some point in time, that week or something for some winter storm that they had. And the dude says, "You're from Ohio, right?" And this is a Mexican that has never been anywhere north of Tucson, right? He says, "You're from Ohio, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "What did you guys do?" And as you know, with like 6 layers on, "What did you guys do in the winter?" "What do you mean?" He says, "For work, what did you do?"
Everything.
Like, I was very confused. I'm like, "I don't follow you. What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you didn't work. What did you do?" I was like, "Yeah, we worked."
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
of course
not.
we did.
Not,
He's like, "No, you didn't. You couldn't have."
yeah, they don't compute how fast. I mean, like how cold it gets over there. I remember when I was in fucking Korea, and that place is fucking cold. Now I can see why Korean vets fucking had such a hard time in that place. But it was 25, and the way Korea is,
It's a regular winter.
it has like all these fucking little hills, right? And they get these fucking gusts of fucking wind, and then all of a sudden you're just standing and you get this fucking big old gush of fucking cold ass air. And I mean, that fucking shit is so cold. Even people that are just used to it, they still fucking shiver.
Hey,
like Koreans that are fucking.
I stood out in a stadium full of people in -25-degree weather to watch a goddamn football game.
No, but it's a different story when you have high winds and it's cold.
Oh, it was windy. It was with the wind chill.
We get those winds here too.
We call them nor'easter. We call those. We call that nor'easter. We had one the other day, except it was a wicked warm wind. But we got 60-mile-an-hour winds the other day. Had that been 60 mile an hour in November, forget it. Or December or January, forget it. It'd be.
And Mario, some years we get years where we have no snow removed. Now what that means is it snows and it never got warm at all. Always stayed below freezing. So the snow stayed. Now you get snow 6-7 times in a row, a foot and a half. Start adding that up. I've got pictures of the snow up to the roof of the garage. It's still there. We get driveways where you can no longer throw the snow off the driveway. You're capped out. You're literally cut out of a pile of snow, and it stays that way. Not all years. Some years it'll be like that.
A few years back,
we got about a half inch. We got about a quarter inch of snow last winter. One afternoon.
See that's awesome. See, like what year was it that I got? We got Massachusetts had more snow than fucking somewhere in Alaska, and we had some 134 inches of fucking snow or something fucking foolish like that. I want to say it was like 4 years ago. Maybe it might have been 5. I thought it was 4. But we got, it was some astronomical amount. It never stopped snowing. It was just, that's a shit ton of snow. 134 inches of fucking snow.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That's a lot of fucking snow. That's a lot of snow.
You know, I kind of laugh because growing up back home, it's weird, man. So I came here to the United States back in 2005. And I wasn't here maybe a year, and winter hits, and all the schools shut down. Just everything just shuts fucking down. I'm going like, what the fuck is going on? Like it's a inch and a half of fucking snow, and everything shut the fuck down. And
When I was a kid, it wasn't like that.
I'll tell you, man, back home, this is why I laugh. I literally laugh at this every time. I would be trudging through snow way over my knees. Way over my knees. You're talking 3.5 feet, 4 foot fucking deep snow.
Both ways.
To go to school. To go to school.
With a hole in your shoe.
With a hole in my shoe.
You had a shoe? You lucky
It
bastard.
wouldn't matter,
You had
dude.
shoes? Yeah.
I'd get up, dude. I get up at 4 a.m. every day. I went to work. I come back from work 7 o'clock in the morning, go to school, get off school, back to work till 11 o'clock at night. Didn't matter what the fucking weather was.
When I was in school, when I was little, there was deep snow, and they still weren't shutting. They still weren't calling schools off.
No.
A matter of fact, I remember going to school and the heater didn't work in the school, and
Put your coat on.
yeah, you just put your
I had
coat
to
on.
do that.
You just keep
Yep.
keep
Kept
going.
coat on. Yep.
Now, granted, I think
I
if
remember
the
those
heater
days.
would have stayed broken for days on end, they probably would have eventually shut the school down just because
Right.
there had been
Because the
frost.
water would have
indoors,
froze or
But
right.
yeah, it wasn't that you said 05. That was a new phenomenon that had been forming in the United States, probably in that early 2000, late 90s, where, yeah, if there was even calling for ice, there was going to be a delay. If anything hit the ground, it was canceled.
It just blew me away, man. It absolutely blew me away. I just could never believe it. Because back home, literally back home, you'd get 2-3 feet, and all right, let's keep going.
You know what's pissing my daughters off, right? Because now they're back at school, right? They go. My daughter didn't have school the other day because it rained, because she's got outdoor school, right? So it rained, so she had the day off. She had Monday off because there was a golf tournament. Don't even get me going. I spend $12,000, $13,000 a year to send her to high school, and she gets to take a day off because of golf. I just anyways.
I'm not.
Anyways, so
hold on. Whoa.
I'm glad someone jumped on that because I was getting ready to.
You do what?
I send my daughters go to Catholic school.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a second.
So it costs a little bit. It costs a little bit of money, and that's
I'm
a cheap one.
I'm not gonna laugh, but I'm gonna laugh.
But anyways, well, now they're pissed because COVID does have its what do you call it, right? There's no more snow days.
Oh, calamity days. Yeah, because they can just, there's no more. Yeah, they talked about that in Ohio. A lot
They
of
get no more snow days. They're on the computer. They do their classes on the computer.
Well,
they're
but
pissed.
the problem is in Ohio, you got teachers unions that
The unions bucking the system
saying
on that.
if it's called a calamity day, then teachers do not have to work.
Right.
So if they do a calamity day, like a snow day, the teachers are like, we don't have to teach these kids online because it's in our contract. So that's what they're fighting now in Ohio.
Hey, Mikey, I'm going to share a picture here.
Hey guys, I'm gonna call it a day. But
all right, Mario, good seeing you, my friend.
You guys
Thanks
have
for
a good
coming
night,
on with
man.
us, huh?
You guys take care.
Later,
Bye,
Mario.
brother.
Appreciate it.
You guys take care.
I haven't seen it yet, Johnny.
It's coming up right now. I have to switch over here real quick. Right there. You see that?
I see you. Just let me see that right there. Yeah.
That's that red at the very bottom of the screen is the mirror from the red station wagon.
Oh, we used to, when I grew up, we lived out in the country and it was wide open. There was nothing around us.
We get these insane drifts. Now these
Drifts.
are called drop drifts. You can see where everywhere else I'm at, it's waist height. But right there, there's 12 feet on top of that car.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other weird part about that is that I like the drifts because that year that we had all the snow, there was one spot in my backyard, okay, that had about 3 inches of snow in it because of the way it drifted.
Yeah. But we get now I'm at the base of when you come down my hill, Mikey, you come down, that's right the edge, that's the bottom of the mountain.
Yep.
Right down I'm literally at the bottom of the mountain. So I get what we call magic snow. It stops snowing and it's blue out.
Yep.
But all of a sudden it just starts snowing like a mother, blowing off the top of the mountain. And that's the one that sucks. That's when you can have no snow.
Mountain effect snow, they call it.
Yeah, but in the morning you might have 6 foot drifts. You're like, but it didn't snow last night. It does It does at my house, and I get these insane. Like you can walk out to get ready to go to work in the morning, and there's 12 feet of snow on top of your car. You're like, what the fuck?
Go through. What do you call it? Pass up in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, I did that in a little fucking 20-foot box truck. Okay, not good.
No,
not good. Couldn't make it. Drifts all over the road. Bad. It wasn't a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, some of those drift, the weird drifting stuff up here is just nuts.
Yep.
But like I was saying,
I just still continue to laugh at the people in the South.
You see all that snow that I had. I have to push that to the side. All that 12 foot goes right to the side and it stays there. And the next one, I have to stack on top of that. And about the time you hit the beginning of February, you're fucking out of room.
Dude, I would buy the most gigantic fucking snowblower I had, right? And I would fucking blow that right in that fucking river beside your house.
Well, I've got the Aaron's. I have two. I have an Aaron's and an MTD, but the river's on that side of the house.
That's what I know, but go over the house with the snow. Do something. Let's get someone that throws that fucking snow, man.
Because I'll tell you what, boy, you see my driveway. By the time I get to February, I can no longer stand in my front yard and look over. It's above my head now. You have to back out of the driveway so fucking slow.
They already said we're supposed to get fucking nailed. They were right last year. They said it wasn't going to be. They said it was going to be a mild winter, which it was.
Farmer's Almanac says this year we're
fucked. And the Almanac's been. No, I'm not dead balls on.
No, but it's been.
They've been right about. Close. Yep, exactly.
It's been good enough to make me go, nice job, fellas. Nice job.
Yep.
Yeah, they're always within. I would say they're always between 80 to 90% right.
Yep. Like I would say here's what I always tell people: Farmer's Almanac writes the book in plenty of time to be able to get it out for print so everybody can enjoy it. The weatherman hops on television and goes, "Here's the problem," and he gets it fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Farmer's Almanac wrote this shit 3 months ago.
Right.
But they got it right.
And the thing there is the Farmer's Almanac is more accurate than they are.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and the Almanac you can buy for what, $15, $18, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, about
right.
15.
Right, and the fucking the meteorologist is making 6 figures a year.
Yeah, he went to college to figure out if you open the window and look outside, you can tell the weather.
You know.
Well, that's the thing. I tell people all the time. I'm like, it's gonna rain. They're like, what? It's gonna rain.
Oh,
well,
you
how
broke
do you
a bone
know?
before, huh?
I'm like, my bones ache.
Exactly.
I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, my bones ache. I know it's gonna rain. Rain's coming. Be ready for it.
Oh, barometric pressure.
You guys remember the comedian Lewis Black?
Yeah, I love him.
Oh, yeah.
Love him.
Hilarious guy. He
Love
does a
him.
bit. He used to do a bit. I mean, I don't even know what happened to him. I mean, he's still alive.
Yep.
But he used to do a bit that said the job he wanted the most was a weatherman in San Diego.
Yes.
He's like, hello, Southern California. It's nice out. Back to you.
And that's the thing, man. these guys are like, well, we had a sudden change in the weather and the barometric pressure, and now we got this going on. So I'm sorry we were wrong about an hour and a half ago, guys, but now we got this happening instead.
I've learned. I see now up here up north, Mikey, you're familiar with it from going out hunting and all that. You learn to look at the trees. Like when you're getting closer to spring, you'll notice at the bottom of the trees, you get what they call a donut depression. It'll actually get like a ring around the inside of the tree because the sap's moving. So you'll learn to tell your time from that. Look at the tips of your branches. You get red tips. You'll get green tips. You know exactly what everything's going on. Weathermen get it all wrong. They got that, what is that little squirrel thing they bring out in the cage? Pontoon Pete, whatever it is. They get this shit wrong every year, and all you got to do is walk outside and look at the trees. Look at the trees.
That's it, man.
They don't.
That's exactly it. Dude, I grew up on a farm. I can walk outside and tell you what it's going to be.
Well, yeah.
Every fucking time. Once
you see the snow, no longer it starts to pack in like this around the base of the tree. There's a hole around each base. You're like, that's the sap's running. It's warming the ground now. You know what that means? We got about 6 weeks left. We're good to go.
It'll work like that here, fellas.
No, you guys have to judge it by the
But
stands.
even I can remember being, I'd be up north and I have a fire. I'd be lighting a fire. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then all of a sudden, the smoke is leaving my chimney. Leaving my fireplace, my outdoor fireplace, right? It's maybe rising a foot and then going like this. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be wonderful. And I close up shop.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, what's the matter? I go, hon, when's the only time you see smoke not rise into the air, right? I goes, it's coming about 3 feet off the fucking fireplace and then going immediately to the left. Like, what's that tell you? She goes, oh. I go, yeah, was right. I go, clamp everything down. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
My grandfather used to call it skating. Smoke is starting to skate. Once it starts to skate, there you go.
Yep.
No,
all right, guys.
Weird.
I'm gonna jump off.
We're all gonna jump off. It's late in almost 3 hours.
In the morning, but it's been awesome, Mikey. Always good to see you.
Hey,
brother.
thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for
Matt,
coming in.
Great seeing you as always.
Have
John,
a good one,
you, man.
Jason, sir.
Kyle.
I'm going to thank you all for coming in, Johnny, Matt. Great seeing you, Matt. Ohio stuck around with us. I know he was at work and then he dropped off, and then Johnny come on and he came back, so that was cool. And all you guys out in the comment section. So listen, we'll see you all next week, and thanks, you guys. Enjoy your weekend.